You hear a lot of background noise because I have a bunch of devices on. So let me turn them down. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How you doing? Bless up, Christopher Wisdom. You're here early. I think I picked the wrong day to have this show, you know. I forgot that champs run the 100 meters final this evening. So maybe if I knew that, I probably would do the show early. I don't do it at all. But I'm here early, so I'll do it. Bless up Oinoen, bless up Flash G. Thanks for joining. Should be a good discussion today. Should be a very good discussion. As you know how I do my shows, I have a number of stuff I want to talk about before I jump into the football, but the football is going to be the major part of the program this evening because there's a lot to talk about as we move forward into bless up Chepas, Brown, Dixon. Yeah, we have a lot to talk about. You mean Cephas? You have Chepas there. We have a lot to talk about, actually. But before I jump into that, let me just say a couple of things. One is I just saw where the U.S. President Donald Trump has placed a 25% tariff on all foreign-made cars. That's significant, people. So if you like Hyundai, and Mercedes-Benz, and BMW, if it costs 100,000, it's now 125,000. That's a lot, people. That's a lot, people. A lot. 125,000. That's a lot of money. 25%. So that's not good, actually. And that for all foreign cars. So this is very focused on trying to get Americans to buy American-made products, so American-made cars. It may also be part of the whole push to get Tesla. People to buy Tesla. That ain't happening. People ain't buying Tesla. Trust me, not happening. They ain't buying. The people who normally buy Teslas are the people who believe in climate change, are the more progressive people, are not MAGA people. A few MAGAs may have it. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. Yes, I have been looking at Lucid. I will push out my Lucid acquisition until later in the year. There's two Lucid. There's one out now for what, 94,000 without add-ons, and then it should be a much cheaper one, about 70,000 later on. Still expensive. I don't know when it's effective, you know. I should have looked that up, actually. I just saw it when I was coming in. Normally, as your request, it has a date associated with it. You know, I probably should look it up. Look up when Trump tariff is effective. 25% tariff. That's a big deal, you know. That's killing a lot of foreign car makers. I know Vietnam was trying to ward it off by, because, you know, some countries do charge a lot of tariffs. I think Vietnam have like 30-something% on some items, 40% on some items coming to their country because they're protectionists. So Trump is saying 25% across the board. You have to love the car a lot to buy it. Yeah, a lot. You have to love it quite a bit to buy it. 25% tariff on all cars. Let me see what it says. 25%. Effective April 2nd. Not much time, people. So if you get your car before April 2nd, you want to pay 25%. Hurry up. Hurry up, people. Hurry up. Something must be wrong with my system here. Buy your car now. If you delay buy it and you want to buy a foreign car, I suggest you buy it now. Otherwise, that's a big number, you know. And in New York, you're going to pay sales tax on that too. So add another 8% on that 25%. That's a big number, people. Big number. Okay. Ogun said, I just want to deal with ice maintenance. Big up. Bless up, good. Ice maintenance. Keep word on that on ice. And Owen say he wasn't planning to change. Well, yeah, no plan to change anytime soon. Owen Flash says GMD chickens importers free trade agreements have 70%, if not more. Yeah, but I think he's tearing up those agreements, isn't he? He doesn't subscribe to agreements, you know. It's kind of strange that you have laws, you have the WTO, all those organizations which sort of make sure laws are adhered to, and he just does what he wants to do, and nobody checks. He has no check. He has no check, people. He does what he wants to do, and everybody seems to buy into it, which is kind of sad. But when you are privileged as a persuasion, you can do what you want to do, I guess. You have the big gun, you have the nuclear gun, you have the big bomb. So, as I say, what's his name? Say power comes to the barrel of a gun. So they use it like that. He has no brain. No, he has a brain. Don't say he doesn't have any brain in the people. Go read Project 2025. A lot of these things are orchestrated. They're not by chance. A lot of these things are orchestrated. Why am the champs nowadays? All the big schools, people are staying home. Like George is getting more runners because I'm watching the 4x1. Well, not watching it, it's on my screen. And I don't see no KC in there. I see a couple of C bar, but one run for it. But anyway, it's interesting. I think some of the schools will always be able to pull away some of these athletes. They're now staying home. Now, Rubio was in Jamaica, right? Rubio's in Jamaica right now. Talking about number. I'm going to summarize what he sort of came out of the press conference. Flash says, not by him. Yeah, but he's just there to execute. He's the messenger. Or the executor, I probably should say, not the messenger, executor. So, U.S. Secretary of State Mark Rubio visited Jamaica on today as part of a Caribbean tour. He's also going to visit Guyana and Suriname. Okay, everybody go Guyana nowadays, do you guys know that Guyana is now going to be producing the most oil per capita than any country in the world? Meaning you produce the most oil per individual person. I wonder where they're going to do that money. I think Kuwait was number one at one point, and now it's Guyana. My hope is that that's where the Caribbean should be coming together. I know people are like, when I go, NCAF or whatever with Guyana, whatever words we term we use. But I think now is the time that region should be thinking about how they share intellectual capital, how they share resources, how they have more CARICOM trading and engagement. Because when you have all the oil, we saw what happened in Trinidad, right? They're trying to now revitalize their oil industry, which is in the dirt, basically. I don't know why people are not thinking outside the box and thinking more strategically. Remind me of the JFF in some respects. The strategic thinking in the Caribbean, well, the selfish thinking is really good in the Caribbean. People are selfish as hell. And it manifests itself in terms of how they operate. You have somebody rich as hell, living in a neighborhood, roads are horrible, but they're driving a Mercedes-Benz and they're happy. They ain't going to find a way to fix the road. So long as they're better than they feel like they're better than their neighbors, they're good. Really good. Yes, it does have a lot of oil. But Venezuela can't sell for them because U.S. pressure them. So let's go back to Rubio. He talked about, because I watched the press conference. He talked about travel advisory. He pledged to reevaluate the U.S. State Department's travel warnings for Jamaica to ensure they reflect current conditions. He's acknowledging that Jamaica has progress as it comes to crime. Lord bless him. I don't know how much progress we have made. Them quote some statistics of crime down, but every day me I read about some shootings. So I don't know. But I think the State Department a lot of time would put out narrative about warnings to its citizens, be careful in Jamaica. But you never hear in America and I get killed once in a while. Something happens. And normally some Jamaican ancestry go some part of Jamaica we shouldn't go. Most tourists that go to Jamaica have fun. They're not getting enough. And they go off the resort. I almost say reservation. It's not a reservation. They go off the resort and enjoy themselves. Yeah. I'll get to this. I'll get to this gang stalking. I did get some information on that. I know about England, but I'm gonna read what somebody texted me on my phone about that from a good source. They talked about the Cuba doctor program, and the U.S., as you know, is opposing Cuban doctors being supplied, and nurses being supplied by Cuba, the Caribbean medical professionals. He's saying that it's sort of slave labor and that the payments are made to the country versus the individuals, and they're taking on individual rights. Let me say this. And wait. And what is funny about that? So Holness defended the program and said we adhere to labor laws. But here's what's funny about that. Holness then made a statement which basically said, you know, a number of the nurses and doctors migrate to other countries. You know, so they migrate go America. You know, it was very cute. Holness, I have to clap you on that one there. I think he was gonna say that America take away all we intellectual capital. They take away all our doctors and nurses. But he basically says they migrate to other countries. Where's they migrate to? Nobody not go to England go to no doctor because you're not getting paid no money. So it's really interesting actually the way Holness put it. But he's trying to tell Rubio, look, you guys are taking away all our doctors and nurses. We have to get them from someplace. Cuba provides them. Get over yourself. So Jamaica not budging on that. You also talk about regional security. The discussion centered on combating what they consider to be transactional organized crime, or transnational, I should say, organized crime, illegal immigration, and addressing Haiti's political and security challenges through strengthened regional actions. So they have talked about Haiti. Because in the meeting, they had, I think Haiti was there, Guyana was there. Well, they're going to be going to Guyana, so Jamaica was there. There's a number of countries who were part of the dialogue, actually. But the leader of Haiti was there also. But I think also the whole gun situation, the guns are coming from the U.S. If you cut off the gun supply, because the U.S. has a gun culture, and U.S. guns are kill off the people. If there were no U.S. guns in the region, would there be guns here? Yes, but a minuscule number compared to what we have now. You don't see no material killings happening in Europe, for example, with guns, or in a lot of countries. This part of the world, America guns flood South America, flood Mexico, flood Jamaica. One time Mexico had sued America about this, you know. They're not taking responsibility for all the guns. The MAGA people are the ones who love the guns, not the Democrats. But anyway, they thought about regional security. Let's see how that materializes over time. Then they're going to provide Jamaica police with more guns to go kill people versus trying to figure out a way to stop the guns going to Jamaica. They talked about economic partnership. They aim to enhance economic ties between U.S. and the Caribbean nations, with energy security highlighted as a significant opportunity for collaboration. So, no, they want to collaborate when China come in. This is all an anti-China or a pushback on China or trying to mitigate China. This is not about having love for Jamaica and want Jamaica to do well and trying to have partnership to improve the living conditions on the island. This is all about China now coming in. So now you feel like you have fire under your tail. You want to do something. Crazy. Where were you all these years? Where's the partnership and the investment? Right? They complain about China. He complains about China coming in and piling a lot of debt, and you can't pay back the debt, so them take your resources. That's true too, but you're not doing anything. What are you doing? Even if you were investing looking for a good return on your investment, that would help the island. You're not doing that. So that's kind of a nonsense Ruby you're talking about. Like I said, Trinidad and Tobago was there, Barbados was there, and Haiti was there. Guyana wasn't there because he's going to go to Guyana. And then there are a couple of American reporters there, and now they want to talk about American stuff. All right, they want to talk about the signal leak thing and what happened, and answer that. We're not talking about American stuff. We're talking about what happened with Jamaica. So it's interesting conversation, people. Interesting conversation. An interesting meeting. But I'm glad Jamaica started to tell them, say, no, what? We have to service our people medically, and you're not helping, so what you want to do? We can't live by just telling them, you know what? God go help you. That's not working. Not working. Americans who get hurt here are the ones who feel like they can walk away where they want in other countries. Oh, by the way, I forgot this one. It's important. There were two female, so there were 4 reporters, 2 Americans, I think they were males, and 2 very young Jamaican female reporters who work for major media outlets in Jamaica. Kudos to those 2 young ladies. I thought their questions were on point. The other ones, one of them asked about the Cuban question, asked an immigration question. Questions were on point. Questions made sense. I think some of the people from the traditional media who go to these conferences, like these football games, them can take some lessons from them ladies there. Maybe they should have the ladies who come in and ask the question versus no. These ladies were on point. One lady asked a question about, one of the young ladies asked a question about immigration and the fact that Jamaicans are afraid to travel, the ones who have green cards. And he basically says, you shouldn't be. You should be fine unless you do sort of terrorist activity, like you see with a student at Columbia. It's not terrorist people, them call it that. I mean, you're protesting and you're doing things which is unfavorable in their eyes, the way I put it. I just see it happening with a kid at Columbia and a few more kids who have been arrested by ICE because they have student visas. That's not green card. But he did indicate that people are safe to travel. That shouldn't be an issue. So we'll see. Unless you find to be in divisive activities, which they label to be quote unquote, maybe anti-American or terrorist in a sense, or support terrorist organization. So that should be interesting. DC says, I know he's not your fave candidate, but Obama did want the people to push their leaders to guard their best interests. China or the yeah. Look, I mean, Obama is not all bad enough. Let me say, you know what I'm saying, Jamaica? I'm just soft. You know what soft mean, right? And soft don't mean you're soft, literally, you know. If you look at Obama and what he does, Obama and Trump are polar opposite. Who would you say is more effective? Trump is much more effective than Obama. Being a president is not being a nice guy now. Being a president is not being a nice guy. Nice guys finish last. By the way, people, so unless some of you guys are not returning to my channel, I shouldn't have to say this every time, you know. But some of you have, so I appreciate it. Please hit the like button. The whole signal chat thing continues. It's interesting when you watch these programs and these people are trying to spin things. They're saying there were no confidential information that was disseminated when they're trying to bomb the Houthis in Yemen. Because this is all about Israel and the people. They're bombing them to support Israel. I'm talking about shipping in and all that. Don't buy into that nonsense. It's sad, but there had to be confidential information, people. Nobody now go bomb nobody and it's not confidential. Bless up, Dennis. Thanks for being here. Dennis, you're supposed to call me in Dennis. Me call you and call me back in Dennis. So as Maverick said, me have you up. And then the appeals court has blocked the deportation of Venezuelans. They hope will block on Venezuela deportations because you have to go through a process, people. You're going to deport people. They have to have their time in court. Just butt up people and deport them. Anyway, that was my short list of what I call contemporary current news, things that are in the news. And now we'll pivot to some football. So the first thing I'll do is play McLaren's play McLaren's press conference. And then we can talk about yesterday's game, rating of players, and just have general discussion about the game. All right, it should be good. So let's play McLaren's press conference. I'm sure he's a happy man. And by the way, when I revisit, I'm gonna talk about this. You know, let me play it first, and then we can talk about this because some things come out. And I'll take some notes from his press conference because I haven't watched it. I try to watch this thing with you guys, you know. I try not to come here and watch these things beforehand. You could do that and then take notes and bring it here, but I like to do it impromptu because when you do it impromptu, to me, when it's more spontaneous, so that works better for me anyway. Let me do this. Now, why aren't you playing?
Good evening. Thank you very much for being here. The post-match press conference, Jamaica versus St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The Concacaf Gold Cup playing, as mentioned yesterday, it's a historic night for Jamaica. Jamaica becomes the first Caribbean team to host not only a Concacaf Gold Cup game, but a Gold Cup prelims game tonight. And of course, back in 2019 when we hosted Honduras. We're joined with the head coach of the senior men's national team, Coach Steve McLaren. So we're going to open the floor now for questions. Please raise your hand. And after you are indicated, then we'll proceed with the questions. So go ahead, Leger. Please go ahead, Lish.
Good evening, Coach. Well, it's been a big talking point in terms of, because you've said it previously, in terms of the tempo that you want your team to play at. In the first leg, it was a bit slow, but in the second leg, especially after around 30 minutes or so, there was a huge injection of tempo into the team. Did that please you, one? And two, is that the tempo that you would want your team to play at going forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't mind keeping the ball in possession, which is fine. But a lot of the times in the first game, we turned down playing forward too many times and went square and back, which slowed the game down, allowed them to get behind the ball and made it very difficult for us. So we worked on that for the 2 days and saying we've got to have more urgency and tempo in our game. So really we were kind of saying we're coming out and we're 1-0 down, because when we were 1-0 down, our tempo increased. And, you know, we've got players with ability and speed who will cause problems. So we have to feed the front players as often as possible. So you're absolutely right. that is closer to how we want to play. We still want to, and I thought the game management from the boys was excellent, from back to front, controlled it, up the tempo when we needed to. So I call it playing 90 miles an hour and playing 10 miles an hour. And I think in the first game we played 10 miles an hour too much. This time I was pleased with the balance, and we got the 90 miles an hour, which when we play like that, you know, we cause teams problems.
Thanks, coach.
Thanks, Leish.
Nice, sir. First, 3 questions.
Okay, the good one.
Okay, let's say you speak about tempo, but for a large portion of the game, you know, it was kind of slow, like there weren't enough passes and just not enough like cohesion with the team. Seems like you guys were missing a creative midfielder, that type of player. So how do you would you able to fix that in the future? Or what did you see were the problems that, you know, because St. Vincent could have easily capitalized on a lot of mistakes?
I didn't see any problems this time. When you play against a team like St. Vincent, and congratulations to Ezra on the performance of his team over the 2 games. But there's one big thing I've learned: there are no easy games in the Caribbean, no matter what. And they worked hard and were quick on the break. And when they're a transition team like that, if you keep giving the ball away by forcing too many things, then that gives them opportunity to transition counter-attack on you. So it's getting the balance between keeping the ball and making sure that we move up the field, keep our rest defense, so we mark when we attack. The defenders are close, and we can maintain and play in their half, which I was really pleased with today. And even the other day, we controlled it, but it was too slow a tempo, where this was quicker. And I think the injection of the likes of Warner Brown and Cephas on the left, and, you know, we told the boys, yeah, don't give up a forward pass. And I think we did that better.
Thanks, Kobe. Gary?
Coach, live. Speaking of tempo and keeping the game aligned with your game plan, Andre Blake, another clean sheet for him for his stellar career. What would you say about his warrior performance tonight? You know, battling through some knickknacks and continue to play through the game all throughout.
Yeah, I mean the whole back 4, I thought, were excellent, and you're absolutely right. You keep a clean sheet, you win games, and we said that before the game. We keep a clean sheet, we go through. We want to score, but we keep a clean sheet, we go through. And I think in my games, 10 games, and home games especially, I think we've conceded 1 goal. And so we're pleased about that. And we said that to the players before, that we're playing at home. This is our home. This is, you know, the legend is the office. We're not there at all, nowhere near, but we want to make this, we want to own the stadium, own the field. And I think we did that today. Now we just need to develop and do it more.
Thanks, Gary. Jordan?
See this property on Craigslist for $4,300 a month? Well, it's been sitting empty for the last 28 days. And there's 40.
Coach, Jordan Ford.
I'm taking it from YouTube people, so
You mentioned
that's for
Warner Brown,
advertisement.
and you know there's a lot been made of players who play in Jamaica professionally. What did you think of him? What he brings to the team as an attacking force, and how are you looking to integrate players such as Warner Brown as you move into World Cup qualifying?
Well, I think, as I said before, I think the camp that we had a month ago with the local players was invaluable. Gave me great insight into the players and the culture of them, and the work ethic and their game intelligence was fantastic. And then I think in the squad we chose 10 JPL players, and young ones as well as experience. And I've just said in the dressing room, you know, some have played. I think Richard King was excellent tonight, defensively and coming out with the ball. Warner Brown's come in and not just caused problems with his pace, but held the ball up, was always a target for us. And the local players, they've really made it difficult for the UK and foreign-based players coming in. So it was a balance of 10 and 10, more or less. And the local players never shied away from the challenge, kept the tempo of training very high in intensity, which is what the starting 11 require. And we're no problem in giving people a chance. And Warner deserved it from the first camp. I saw it, but I just felt that with his speed, running in behind, he's an actual nightmare for defenders.
Thanks, Jordan. David?
Coach, as it relates to the midfield duo of Isaac Hayden and Bobby Reed today, would you say that it's closer to finding a solution in that midfield?
Absolutely. I think away from home, we wanted to be a real defensive player there, which is why we played Sully, and he did a good job. And Isaac was on 8 today. We felt that, including bringing Dimmy inside, that we didn't go through the middle in the away game, and we wanted to. So we need people who can deal with the ball. Isaac, Bobby, and Dimmy, they can all deal with the ball, as you saw. And Isaac and Bobby are tenacious and can get around the field, mobile. And the interceptions they won, and then the first pass into Dimmy or the first pass into Warner or out wide was our big threat. And then, you know, we got the speed on the sides with Leon and Cephas. So I was really pleased with the midfield.
Colin?
Coach, you spoke earlier about playing balancing between going between 90 miles an hour and 10 miles an hour with 2 legs. You played on 2 known Caribbean cricket grounds in Ardenvale and Sabina Park. Do you feel that affected how you managed to play between the 2 paces?
I think, look, there's no hiding from the fact that, you know, when we play at home and we play in the national stadium, that, you know, the surface can be a factor. We find that in training grounds, we find that at national stadium, and I got to say, the pitch here was excellent. Apart from Isaac Hayden, who got a really tight calf because the middle where he was playing was very hard. So I thought that was excellent. I thought the surroundings and the atmosphere was very good. I don't know if we can play here again, but you know, so you know, these players are used to a good surface. The local players maybe not, but it has a big effect on the game that we want to play. We want to keep the ball. We want to build from the back. We don't want to be a team, what I call an opportune team. We rely on long balls, second balls, and transition from that. And to do that on some of the difficult surfaces that we've had to has been hard. But we persisted with it, and it's getting used to that. And we get them for 1-2 days. And what I saw in the first game, although tempo could be higher, I saw a lot of principles which we've worked on from day one, and especially in this game, a lot of principles in terms of building with 3 at the back, having a controller, having a 10, speed on the sides, and a target man who can run in behind. That is more how I want to play, instead of playing in front of the opponent all the time. The key is getting behind the opponent, and I felt we did that today. We haven't done that as well in previous games, so that's something to take forward.
Hi, Coach McLaren. 10 games in so far. You said that the players have still been getting used to your style of play. In those 10 games where you've used different personnel, played against different teams, what have been some of your greatest takeaways? And heading into the important World Cup qualifiers and Gold Cup, how do you make certain adjustments to ensure that your style of play and the team can go on and achieve their objectives?
Yeah, that's it. We just need to, when we're together and and we need to educate. You know, that's what I learned from the camp with the local players. We need to educate them more into how we want to play, how we want to build up, how we want to make a 3 or a 4 at the back, and how we want to press, either pressing with a 9 and a 10 or just a 1 and 7, 11. So there's about 2 or 3 ways in which we've been working on to build up, 2 or 3 ways which worked on to press, and then it's also been about getting the balance in midfield. So it's coming, but we've still got a lot to do. And what I'm pleased about is that, you know, we can have 2 games in the UK, 2 friendlies, 2 World Cup qualifiers, and then the Gold Cup. I'm really looking forward to that, where, you know, I don't know where we're going to play, but I would think that the services will be pretty good where we do that. So, yeah, we're. I think I said it yesterday. We wanted to come in and change the style to more a what is happening in Europe and the UK in terms of building ball possession, of pressing, of counter press, of pressing high, winning the balls, transitioning quick, being compact as a team, and that takes time. We've only got them for 2 or 3, 4 days maximum when they come over, but they're we're getting better.
Sonny Felix for JFF Live. Coach McCann, for the past 2 to 3 days, the fans have been anxious. But now you've qualified for the Gold Cup. Do you have anything to say to put them at ease?
Well, I think they'll be at ease tonight, as we all are, myself included, because you know, we put ourselves in a hole, really. You know, we hadn't got that penalty in the last minute. You know, there would have been a bigger hole. But as I said, the first game in terms of the stats, yeah, that's what we want. The stats are pretty similar in terms of 16 shots. I think 6 or 7 on target, only 64%, but that's enough because I think they just took risk in the last 20 minutes to get it. So, yeah, I'm really pleased about the outcome. And we've learned a lot. There was no easy games in this region at all.
We can take 2 more. Yes, go ahead.
Good night, Coach. John Stewart, JFF Live. I noticed in moments during the game that Leon Bailey drifted out to the left-hand side, and he seemed a bit more comfortable out there as opposed to the right-hand side, where he had a couple of opportunities to shoot, but was hesitant because it was his weaker foot. Is that something you've identified and something you'd like to address moving forward?
Yeah, also, you're absolutely right. We've talked about that, looked at Leon. Leon started his career in Germany playing on the left-hand side. And, you know, we just see him week in, week out playing on the right. And so that's where we play. But we said before the game, you know, look, if you want to go on the left, you have a little go on the left. If you're not having such luck on the right, then you can swap. We've got Cephas who can play on the left or the right. We've got Kahim Dixon who can also do the same. So, yeah, that gave him that license. And where he's most effective, and we do want to get crosses into the box. So we will get more crosses if we have a left footer and a right footer to do that, which we are working towards.
So, one more. Go ahead.
Daniel, from Ballpree TV. Do you think our team were ready, like, to win this Gold Cup? This 2025, you know, we're going into the World Cup 2026. Do you think our team is fully ready and prepared in a short term, a couple of months from now, going in the Gold Cup? I want to, for the fans, we'd like to win something going in the World Cup. So we'd like the team, like, be very competitive and no shyness in the Gold Cup. We need to go bold and brave. And we need to see the team play more like when we work higher pressing team like the US, the Canada. We need to see that boldness and that, because people always talk about the 98 or the team always hungry first 5 minutes in the game. But
yeah, he's giving me the answer.
Are we going to compete or are we going to participate?
We're going to compete. We can't wait to compete. We compete all the time. You know, the JFF arranged 2 friendlies in the UK against good opponents. So that's getting the players together in a camp. You know, that will prepare us for the 2 World Cup qualifiers. The more time we can spend with these players, you know, the better everything will get. And, you know, I want to see from now until May, you know, the local players maintaining the standards of what they've brought, developing, improving in terms of game intelligence and tactical wise, because they've certainly got energy and enthusiasm, and we really love that. And then we're hoping that we are also hoping from now until May that we can make additions as well, which we're really working on, and for some players quite close to. But if we can add more quality, I think going forward, you know, we miss Mikel Antonio. He was the number 9, and he's a big threat in behind. He can hold the ball up. He's a leader. He's a captain. We really miss Mikel. We hope we get him in the summer, or then at least in the qualifiers. But in the meantime, we're forever searching for players who can make this squad better.
Thanks everybody at the draw.
So that was the coach and the press conference. I see somebody says, "Oh, ask that question." It wasn't a question; it was a statement. Person wasn't asking the question. That wasn't a question. That was just here's what happens, people, and I empathize with the person asking the question because I empathize with these very young people. So you go to ask a question, and you're probably nervous, right? Even though his voice didn't sound nervous, you're probably nervous. You go to ask a question, and then you start asking it, and other things come in your brain, and I think it just happens. So, and I don't envy Simon's job either, because Simon had to cut him off, but I'm sure Simon struggled with, should I cut him off or not? But he says one last question. So it's a difficult situation, actually. Can we start talking? Yeah, good night.
Okay, I have to talk quick before my next game starts, you know, brethren.
That's your problem. So you have to interrupt me.
Man.
No, that's your problem. That's your problem. That's your problem. That's not my problem. That's your problem.
We need to win that game, yeah, so at least we end up top 6. That's a number 1 out of the way. See? Hey, listen up. The other day, when time where they play the game, they are sentencing. And then they bring in the man them late, Cephas and Brown, or whoever else in the bring in. And they kind of pep up the offense that will end up with a little penalty late. You see, when time the man put in a competent front line, when time man ready for work, how the game just changed drastically.
I wouldn't say it's a competent front line. A competent center forward.
Well, all right.
So be very careful with that, because the 2 wingers them were beyond poor. Beyond poor. No. People. No. Go back and watch the game. They were beyond poor. I'm gonna show you the stats, people. I'm gonna show you the stats for the game, because people are saying grade this and grade that. I mean, I was on another channel watching another channel today, and you were talking about a lot of stuff. The biasness is nauseating.
I tell you what, I defer, because I'm going to agree with you on some point. They did drop the ball. I one shot to Mr. Gray, miss. I Mr. Bailey get a ball, and all the man have to do is kick the ball and him double kick it. And then
exactly.
I'm like, hold on.
Yeah.
I defer. I agree. But it was a better showing.
No. The defense, the midfield and the center forward were very good. Yeah. Very good. The problem was the 2 wingers. The problem wasn't in the middle of the park. Hayden, go look at the stats, even though I don't think the stats ratings were as good as they should be. But go look at the Hayden, Bobby Reed, to a lesser extent, Demari Gray, Latti, King played really, really well.
Them control the game. We control the game. I think we had something like 80% of the possession or whatever.
No, it's 65. It's 65. But
65. Soon.
We have to tell you the right number. The right number. 60 something. 60 something.
Well controlled. Easy. Yeah. Another thing, I hear the man talk about it in the press conference. Hear him now? Well, you know, hopefully when time we get to the Gold Cup, the feeling will be better. You know, really, hold on. Bear with me. To all my listeners out there, everybody who are here, I don't want nobody feel no weird. All right, I say this from now, but make me call a spade a spade. We always knew that cricket was a white man's sport and football a black man's sport. How is it that the cricket pitch is a better playing surface than the field where they are a stadium?
No, because a cricket field has to be good because remember, you're trying to feel the ball, right? So the surface has to have a true bounce to it. So you don't make sure the surface really, and roll and take care of. So they don't take care of it.
Why didn't you have
Wait. But let me just say this though. But the stadium field is used for any and everything. Right now we have champs at stadium. So if you overuse the field, it will be a problem, right?
Man, use it for dance hall too. You never see the big stage or the man up there.
Freedom tour.
You never see it.
Yeah. But I'm just saying it's because of the usage of the stadium pitch. They need a football pitch.
No, they don't need a football pitch.
No, they need a football pitch, man.
They need a party venue or something else.
Well, maybe that's true. Yeah.
But using that football pitch for any and everything, it does not, and someone may always say to you, it does not give you quality football because when the ball and roll, you don't get a true roll of the ball. Like, for example, I saw a ball kicking up in the game there, on the cricket pitch, right on the sideline, and so the ball rolled through. Right down the white of the line, it never go left or right, it rolls straight and it wasn't even bouncing. And I'm like, what the man them a do? Them a roll the field and I make sure the field water and nice and look how the field green. But yeah, man, a tackle man and nothing now come up. Look here, they really have to do something about national stadium because you can't have the man them. No matter how talented you is, if me hear Bill Cosby did say a thing one time upon him Cosby show, him and his wife did have a conversation and him said to us, what kind of steak you like? I think he must have talked to one youth. And he said, what kind of steak you like? And the guy is like, T-bone steak. And he said, oh, you like it? And he said, with mushrooms and this and that. And he said, okay, want me to cook up all of that for you? And then I put it on a garbage can cover and offer it to you. Or would you enjoy that steak? No matter, I don't want the steak no more. Because you give it to me on a garbage can cover. Well, it's the same thing with the football. You can't get all of these good players from England and everywhere else and have the man them play on a pitch like that. Don't Jamaican think that it's okay. It is not.
No, that's a good analogy because the coach actually said it.
Yes.
You know what he said? He said the pitch was good. He said, and he criticized not just the stadium field, He said the pitches the players play on, they're not good surfaces. And these English diaspora players, and also the ones who have played overseas from local Jamaica, are used to playing on good pitches.
Yes.
So he's basically telling you that these pitches are awful and they're not helping the football. JFF, I hope you're hearing.
That take care of that. No, the whole doctor thing with this idiot Rubio and thing about Jamaica.
Yeah.
Look here, the brain drain of Jamaica. That's why me and you, they are foreign,
Yep.
Because Jamaica not offering me and you, what we need to take care of our family, and human nature is we're gonna go wherever we can find it.
Yeah.
And if me have to go up in the cool and go beer and put up with truck and white man who want to kill me off and lock me up, but I can make a little money and I can help my people back home, that's what I'm going to do. So the brain drain, nothing is wrong with people leaving for a better opportunity. What needs to happen in Jamaica is that they need to provide more for the people and for them to want to stay down in Jamaica. But everybody goes, well, it's a small country, we don't have no money and we're poor and this and that. Look here, hey, if we want to play with the big boy, we have to go on like big boy, and we have to do a big boy though.
Yeah, well, we ain't gonna be playing with the big. We're gonna play with the big boy, but we ain't gonna get good outcome if we can't get our act together. You can't play the big boy, but you're gonna get spanked.
There you, which is what Canada now going now full-fledged into the whole NAFTA thing now, right? Because it's that Canada say no, when you come up with this NAFTA, free trade, UMCA, all of this, you make me sign up this, and now all of the parts them are made in Canada. Me I send you steel, me I do this back and forth over the bridge up a Detroit. It's like an open thing, and now all of a sudden you want to come clamp my style. Canada is not taking this lightly. You know that.
I think Canada is in a bad spot. So people, we can push up which is all we want to know. But when 30% of your GDP is dependent on one country, and your percent of your GDP, their percent of your number is 1%, you're in a bind. When they sneeze, so Canada can get the Ontario person can cut off Michigan and New York and other places electricity and can do all these things. But if the US decided to, you know what? We're going to squeeze you. They can squeeze them. And they know this.
And Canada can't fight back, you know. Canada can't fight back.
No. They are fighting back. But I'm just saying, in the long run, US is going to be the winner in that situation. Well, there'll be no winners. It's who loses the most. There ain't going to be no winners. It's who loses the most.
Because what Canada, I think Canada is going to do now. I say, you know something? All right. You want to raise up the tariff them and make it hard for my people them who are work. The third party, meaning the guy that making the nuts and the bolts. And them now make the car, you know. Them and make some of the parts them for the car, because right now GM, Stellantis and Ford or whoever else keep going across the border. They might make the body of the car here, then they send it over to Canada, then put in the engine and the screws, them and the nut and the bolt. Then it come back down here. The same thing going on with Mexico. All Canada go do and say, okay, when I make the car over there, so I'm going to start making the nuts and bolt. Or I'm going to start taxing them more on the nuts and bolt. So this thing is going to go here.
No, you guys are missing the point though. He wants to bring everything back to the US. It's cost arbitrage, right? It's profit arbitrage why you do it in Mexico and do it in Canada, right? That's part of the whole construct, which is.
But Joe Biden wanted to bring it back to the US too.
Yeah, but Trump, but Biden was talking. Trump is acting. There's a difference. There's a difference. Trump acting. So the pain gonna be felt in it because American consumers are gonna pay more. The reason why you go overseas in the first place and manufacturing move to China is cheaper labor and we get cheaper prices, right? Because you know, American labor expensive. So if you change that, we're gonna pay more. But what he's basically saying is that my economic activity is going to increase significantly if I make the products here and I also import more. That's the whole notion.
Kranky, you want me to tell you something with people, and this is the folly of people that I sometimes can't understand. They want cheap goods, right? Everybody
Somebody
wants
asked me,
cheapness,
this is bad. The man of my beat me say, me talk politics when I'm at football time.
No. Everybody want cheapness, you know. Everybody want the car, them less expensive. Them want them groceries less expensive.
Right.
Them want them homes less expensive. But when time the man come to build the house, and you have to pay the man, they, I guess in their mind, them can't correlate. When you pay the man, it go bring up the price of the house. So I guess what they want is free labor, as we talk about. So you know, pay the man build the house, and then you pay it cheap for the house. But that's not how things work.
Well, a friend of mine texted me yesterday. I haven't checked it out yet, saying that Florida is looking at its child labor laws because
14-year-old one them work
you know why? You know why? Because all the illegal people that in Canada, that them like hot climate, run away.
Then go make
they can't find nobody.
Go pick tomato and cabbage. And then after them leave work, them go school. How that go work?
Well, I mean, I think they're what people are not realizing, people, is that the people who make the least are the ones who are illegal alien, right? Illegal, who are here legally, because they can't afford not to, because they have to make a living. They do a lot of the works that Americans, the citizens, will not do, and they take wages which the citizens will not take. So when you get rid of them, and it's millions of them, what happens?
You know, say the average Jamaican, even though them they are Jamaican, they don't know them. Say, well, look a poor man a country, and they look a man a build him house. And they look a man never ever go to school and get no big degree, but them see my build one big house up on the hill. And enough man look at them and say, maybe the man I want like a drug dealer. You know, so enough people don't know, say, enough of them man they come take the little work up here from farm work a program. But the little money what they make up here is able to take care of them family. When time them come up to about 6 months or 3 months or however many months them come up for, that is more than about 2 years salary that they would have get them at Jamaica.
And you know that's a very important point you're making, which is against what that's arbitrage, right? I'm in Jamaica, say I make $5 US an hour. I come to the US, say I make 12 and then take out about 5 for whatever reason, we still have 7. So when I'm in Jamaica, you know what? I not spend a portion of money, I save all right, right? I live like a hermit for about 6 months. I send the money to Jamaica, help my family. I buy up some things, or I carry them, I can go sell some of it. It helps me out significantly. So I can make twice what I make in Jamaica. That means I can live either better or the money extend more. That's important for people.
Which is what the little Mexican and everybody else do. And they will come up here under the which people who go to universities and graduate high school and they're not going to do it. The man who do it.
Hell no. They're not. No. You don't have to go to. You don't have to go to college. No. The one that none of them doing it. Period. Where they go? Then go on food stamp. Them not do them work there.
So look, people have to understand. If you want quality product, you have to pay a quality price.
Yes.
Look here. When GM workers them working and them a union and them have to say, you know something, I need health insurance. So when time the man them get them checked and them say all of this FICA, social security, everything will come out of them and then healthcare. And the man them say, but hold on, a $500 a month them I take out to my healthcare thing.
Yeah. But my last point on this call, like I'm going to go back to the football.
Yeah, man, you have to pay the people. No, man, you have to pay the people then because all of that has to do with this whole political order and everything. You can't just expect people to work for free and then the money that you pay them is going to inherently go into the cost of the goods and services what you need.
Totally agree.
So we have to work in hand. No, back to the football thing now, right?
Yeah.
And then we're going to make another call and go on. I think we actually played a lot better this game than we did the last game. I don't know how we're going to fare in the Gold Cup, but Mexico, they're on a high. US, I don't know what they might do, maybe they might feel out players. But the team we need to watch out for, really, we need to watch out for teams like Panama and Canada is upstart teams that are playing very aggressive. And we need to start matching these teams if we need to score our game and get to their level. As far as the Guatemala and them other teams, can we say is who get knocked out by Guadeloupe? Was it Guatemala?
No, was it Suriname? One of those teams. No.
One of them.
Guadeloupe beat Guatemala. No, it's not Guatemala. Guatemala played Guyana. I forgot. It's a good team though. Guadeloupe beat a good team. Yeah.
And I'm like, even those small teams like Guadeloupe, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, some of those smaller teams are inching up, and we have to
you know why? You know why? Guadeloupe beat Nicaragua. Nicaragua them beat Nicaragua.
Nicaragua, yeah.
You know why? Because everybody have all the Caribbean islands them who export people. I got find them people and bring back them team. You know, St. Vincent have 15 overseas players who play overseas in them team, right?
Yeah.
You know, Guyana have 15 also, and Guyana beat Guatemala in Guyana, but lost in Guatemala. So everybody will try buy talent. We're the only persons who are fight talent. Everybody has to try buy talent or go find the talent. We are pushed back against that. We're probably the only country doing that.
So just keep going, and Mr. Trump, go and turn the scoop on people. What a better wake up. Turn on the scoop.
All right, sir.
All right, little brother.
All right, before anybody else call, I'm gonna make a couple of points first, and then I will take calls. So let me just say a thing. Just go back to the press conference. Here's a question that should be asked, which people are missing, which to me was pretty obvious, right? We were poor on set pieces. You go back to the game. St. Vincent had about 4 or 5 very good chances from set pieces. I don't think we did well on any set piece that they took, meaning mainly free kicks. I don't know about it. Can't recall the corners they got. Didn't get too many corners. But they had at least 2 chances in this game, and they had a chance in the previous game. So we were poor on set pieces. I thought his starting lineup was good, because obviously, as you know, I predicted the starting lineup, so I think that's why it was good. But no, I think he had the right starting lineup. Nicholson wasn't playing well. And I think McCullough, you needed Aiden to play the 6, because he was saying he played Hayden in the 8. It didn't make any sense in what he did when he played away. He had Bobby Reed in the 10. He had Hayden playing in the 8. That made no sense to me. But the team he picked, I thought was the right team. When I went back and checked my video, I did pick that team. Even though I thought he probably would have think about low, but it was the right team that he picked. But here's what I thought was interesting. He was bold in picking the team. He was bold in giving Brown the start up front, which Brown showed that he deserved. But can somebody explain to me, and I would have asked this question, which is, how come Bailey and Cephas played the entire game? Whether it was the eye test or the stats test, they were both very, very poor. Now you hear me calling for Cephas, right? Cephas are any 10. Well, next time you'll say any 10 and maybe Cephas. Cephas was very, very poor people. Poor. The same thing people accuse him of, which is the inability to make good decisions, the inability to think. It was very apparent in the game. Very apparent. And that was poor. Now, he mentioned having 10 JPL players. Hey, coach, and people in Jamaica. We're not trying to have no half and half. You know. If there's 20 JPL players and they're the best players, then play the 20 JPL players and have 3 diaspora players. We don't care. Well, some of us don't care. I don't care. What I don't want you talking about is, well, we're balanced. We have 10, 10, 10. Stop the nonsense. Stop the nonsense, coach. We're not anything there. We're not into, we have 10, 10, or we have 11, 12. This is not a balancing act talking about we're trying to equalize things. I saw Brazil play that day, and then they get swamped by Argentina. They had a lot of overseas-based players in their team. They don't have a lot of overseas-born players because most of the players are born in Brazil, and it's not they don't export a lot of players like people like we do. But stop the nonsense, man. Stop the nonsense. And I hear some people talking about Bailey. People, let me say this, because someone think I don't like Bailey. I always want Bailey. I want every player to do well. It's nothing to do with Bailey. Bailey is no special player for me. He's a player. If he play well, I get him praise. The problem I have is a lot of you guys continue to make excuses for this player. And him too hurt. Him back not good. He had a long JPL season. His flight was long. Or he has pressure. I'm gonna stop the nonsense, man. If you look at Bailey's performance for Jamaica, now this is gonna sound really bad. He has to be one of Jamaica's worst performing player ever, given the number of caps that he has had. He probably scored about 6 goals, and a few of them are penalties. He doesn't play well. Put him on the right, put him on the left, put him in the middle. He doesn't play well. Stop making excuses. If he plays well, give him flowers. When he's poor, tell him same poor. Stop the nonsense because he's local and he made good and he's playing Champions League football. Him play like him a Bush League football and play for Jamaica. He doesn't play like a Champions League footballer. He's been poor. And you guys keep making excuses after excuses. You're going to come up with so many different things. I was talking to somebody and I was playing some damn online the other day. And somebody was saying, oh, Bailey, they put too much pressure on him. Every footballer who does well in them local clubs and play national team will have pressure. If a national team worth anything. Somebody said 11 goal contributions in 33 games. If you think so, I watch him play. And somebody on a penalty. Yesterday got a goal contribution. You think that was him? That was the kid, Dixon. Run it down. So you can't come with excuse. CC, you have to wait, CC. I've got you my list first. You have to wait, CC. I got you my list first. But I'm taking no call right now. I take the call in about 2 minutes, CC. I hope you hear me. He said away from home, he wanted a defensive player, but Bobby and Isaac played well defensively. I know what the coach I talk about. He played double pivot against St. Vincent. That don't make no sense to me. And I want to say one more thing before I go on this. I thought the St. Vincent coach did a really good job, actually. And someone like him, and I've told he has a pro license from to USSF. I think someone like him got to consider, is St. Vincent the team I coach, or do I promote to something else? Do I consider a bigger job? Because when you are able to play against Jamaica like you did, with player of lesser pedigree, and if people think about it now, St. Vincent could have walked away from this 2-match series being in the Gold Cup, We get a last-minute penalty. We didn't score a second goal to the 88th minute. If things run their way, if they were lucky, they probably would have won the series, even though we were the better team by a good margin. Giving out the ball bounce. So, not a good look. Let me call back CC. Not a good look, people. Not a good look.
Yes, sir, Kranky, you hear me?
Yeah, man. I hear you. What are you saying?
Yeah. No, I was saying if but some ladies, St. Vincent, if certain things get fall.
Yeah, we can't say that now. We can't push our chest now, We can't push our chest after the fact.
Kranky, your video said Jamaica conquers. So then
yes, because it generates views. It generates views. It generates views. I run the analytics and generate views. They put conquer. They did conquer. They won.
But you know, to be honest, though, Kranky, there's a little bit of things I think people don't pay attention in the Concacaf Nations. Panama the other day went to the Gold Cup, went to the Nations League final, right? You know, in that Panama team, I think majority of the players have never played in a top 5 league.
But they're a team, right?
No, I was just pointing out. And a majority of those players plays in the Central American region.
CC, what was CC? Sorry, CC. Hey, DC, it's not clickbait. I asked the algorithm for it. I checked the word and said, does it say conquer? Did we win? Conquer means win. And I put it up there. It's not clickbait. Go ahead. It's not clickbait.
So, I say, a lot of their players play in the Central American places like Honduras. They play in like Costa Rica.
They're
Right.
playing in and around the Central America region, or they're playing in MLS. I think Carrasquilla now plays in, used to play in MLS. Carrasquilla is the midfielder. Brilliant player. But I say to say, sometimes, even when people look at Jamaica, they are saying, we have a Champions League player, we have 3 EPL player, we have this, that player. But in the Concacaf region, USA right now is ranked 4th. And I think USA have the most players playing in the biggest leagues. Of all the teams that are playing in Concacaf, USA would have the most name brand players.
Yes, that's true.
Would you not agree?
Yeah, man. By a good distance, too. Canada is not bad, I tell you. Canada is not bad.
Yeah, Canada is not bad because I think Jonathan David was probably the best striker in League One right now.
No. After Mason Greenwood.
Yeah, that's what I said. Between him and Mason Greenwood, but I would give the edge to him, given the fact that he was the one, like his goals led his team to the Champions League, and he scored a number of goals in the Champions League as well. So I give him the edge because Mason Greenwood not play Champions League right now.
Right.
So I would say him and then Mason Greenwood. But in terms of, I've always stated that the number one thing that is holding back Jamaica, to me, it has to be the development aspect of players, or we develop our players. Because if you look at Costa Rica, Panama, and some of these teams, their development, our local development, far supersedes ours.
So are you saying we should pick more local players in the team?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we need to structure our local development better to better able to someday in the next 10 years we can look at.
So CC, how do you suggest that we do that? Because we talk about this a lot, right?
All right, look at it like this.
Yeah.
We export a lot of players, right? We brought in coaching Steve McLean. I think what we have to do is, it's so in a way, but I think coaching the national team will probably have to go the most, cost-effective route. If you get you don't want to get the best coach to say, but if you look on it like 100 million, I think what we should be doing is getting coaches or instructors to come into Jamaica to instruct in terms of the coaching license and these things, to instruct the coaches that is in the country. Because when we look on Kranky, I am in Jamaica and I'm coaching in the JPL. We get a B license. I start to coach you to get at the C level. I'm coaching you at the C level, but I'm still coaching in the JPL. So how good am I in terms of exposure to impart knowledge onto you? How exposed am I? Yeah, if I get to me, I feel we don't have, I think we should have people who are internationally exposed tutoring these courses. Because if you look into it, I think Rudolph Steele is probably the most exposed lecturer who's tutoring these things.
And he's not exposed at Jamaica. He's exposed in Jamaica.
And
right?
Even Jamaica. You see, but I'm saying even so, he's doing international level player. The Cavaliers against Inter Miami.
I know, but I'm saying when we talk exposed external, we mean you go outside the country and you may coach, or you do a lot of work outside the country. Most of his work is done in the country, right?
Yes. So I think what should happen is that we are trying to reinvent the wheel. The wheel already make you have these countries, the Spain, the France, the Italy, the Germany, you have all of these countries who have done well at football at a certain level over years of experience. Why not go ahead and get somebody from one of these nations, even at Spain, as the others are subject, bring them in, let them give us a concept to work with, tutor our players, tutor our coaches, and then our coaches start tutor the players.
Yeah, CC, let me stop you there. You know why that won't work? If that won't work, CC, you know why it won't work? It takes thought. It takes thought. The people not think. The people who are running the football are not thinking. They're not thinking. They're just doing the same old. They regurgitate the same old thing.
All right, look at it like this. Some people are saying this is a route to picking local players. This is a route to improving the quality of the pool of players. Remember, the players that are born in England are already have certain access to certain level of coaching. If you're going to look at players that are going to get exported, I'm talking about if we train up the players. Because some people come like they don't want Jamaica to develop some footballing concept, But But I'm talking about developing a footballing concept where players are getting exposed and exported at a much greater scale and going into Europe and these other leagues and getting much more exposure. So it's more beneficial to the national team when they're selecting players because they're getting better quality players. And the next thing is, Kranky, you're mixing quality with quality. For example, you bring a few players from England or from Canada or from Mexico or wherever the player is born, right? You bring them coming, they're Jamaican players because they would have qualified to their heritage. They're Jamaicans as well. They come in there and come 2 levels down to come play with somebody else who doesn't really have a footballing concept. And then you as a coach now is trying to, in 2 or 3 days, figure out how to utilize a player who is at level A with a player who is at level B. You see how that doesn't work up? It doesn't hold up.
Yeah, but see, here's the problem I see, because the coach talked about that in some respects. Someone's talking about his strategy, right? His system of play.
Yeah.
Where's he gonna be after this window? Where's he gonna be?
After this window?
Yeah. So this window is not over. Where's he gonna exactly? So why wouldn't he be in the Jamaica? Since he has 10 players that he seems to be bragging about in the team, why wouldn't he be in Jamaica implementing his system, teaching these players his system? So if he's from England and some of the players who come in are from England, at least they learn some of that, right? Every club play a different type of system. England has its own system. Why wouldn't he be in Jamaica helping to bridge that gap and be able to coach some of these players? Why wouldn't he be doing that? Why are you going back to England?
Yeah, listen, Kranky, to be honest, I remember one time the man we said algorithms with charts was offensive. Someone know if Steve McLaren, White Scout, and sitting and working from home is offensive.
Well, he said to me that he follows what Tuchel does, right? That's what he said, right? When I asked him the question. He said he does what Tuchel does, and Tuchel said he wins the 20+ games. He goes to St. James's Park. He do all these things. He said he follow what Tuchel does. So I don't even know what the hell that means. No, that's what he said. He's on record saying that.
All right. But the next thing to Kranky I want to touch upon is this. Because I know, all right, last night against St. Vincent, it's a good example that you gave, with the coach, when named Hendrickson. Hendrickson used to play in the MLS. And Hendrickson also coached in the MLS, right? Because I think he was coaching at Chicago Fire, one of those teams. He was coaching in the MLS until he went back and be the assistant coach of St. Vincent and then coach. He's a St. Vincent through and through. St. Vincent. What do you call that?
Vincentian.
Yeah, Vincentian. Look at Jamaica in that aspect. Oh, Jamaica has a number of coaches who are coaching in Jamaica. How many coaches outside? I think Tyron Marshall have not up to it. How many coaches who would have played for Jamaica would have been coaching at that level that Hendrickson would have coached?
But Henderson took risk, right? He's been exposed. He played overseas. He then went and got his coach's badges, including his pro license. So he got out of his comfort zone. The question for the Jamaica coaches is, have they? And sometimes it's hard to do, right? You gotta get visa, you gotta migrate, you gotta do all that. But have they made the effort to get out of their comfort zone, take some risks, like what's his name, Cody does, and see? And if they have aspirations to coach a national team, so they can build a resume to put them in the mix to do so.
Yeah, I don't think it's kind of rough, but yeah. So, but Kranky, the problem, the next thing I'm gonna do, before the 4 nation thing that I hear you talking about, right?
Yeah.
The next window is this June the 2nd to June the 10th. After that, we have World Cup June the 14th to July the 16th. When is this 4 nation cup going to be played? And then who is these players that are going to be playing in it?
So my understanding, they have something called a Unity Cup in London. It's not confirmed as yet, but I'm reading here, people. But I understand it's Nigeria, Ghana will be in it. It doesn't confirm that England will be in it. So that's what was text to me about this, because I did inquire off a very good source, and they're saying the Unity Cup in London. I know it's on the internet saying there's England is in it. The person says it's not confirmed as yet. Nigeria and Ghana is in it. They didn't say England.
It's the same cup that we played in the country.
Yeah, I thought we played in something like this a while back.
Ireland, Nigeria, and us played in it.
Okay.
In 2004, I think we didn't win any games though. We lost
all the games?
Yeah, we lost one game 2-0 to Nigeria, we lost one to Ireland, Republic of Ireland 1-0.
Yeah, Drew Ross is saying England is in it. I'm telling you, Drew Ross, I got it from very reliable source. They didn't put England, and they say it's not confirmed as yet. Trust me, the source I got it from is the source.
But it was a Tri-Nation tournament at that time.
Okay.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to figure out is this, Kranky, in terms of the players though. And that time it was held the 29th of May to the 2nd of June. So
it's tough because when do the players get rest, people? But you know why it probably doesn't matter as much, because they have the Club World Cup, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have the Club World Cup, they have the Gold Cup. So when do the players get time to rest before they go back August 14 for Premier League?
That is why I'm telling you that to me the only way I see it makes sense if it is like we're gonna call a player like Mason Greenwood and a couple of those players who we would like to see in the team come and play.
Yeah.
Like for example, they are still, I assume, looking at Mason Greenwood. Here's a mother still, right? Why not approach these players? Here's the Unity Cup. Come and play in the Unity Cup.
Well, we don't. So here's what the coach mentioned. There's about 5 or 6 players who I guess he's trying to get in. And would like to blood into this. He would like to blood into this tournament, but that's where Pika comes. That's where the players come in, and Pika comes in, and the person who's helping them, who I know who it is, trying to get their papers. Right? It's a tough situation because some of the papers aren't right, or you have other hiccups. As we know.
Can you not play though, Kranky? Can you not play in this tournament without the passport?
You probably could play in it, yeah, but you don't want to do that because you want them to go to the Gold Cup with you. So why would you want to bring them in and not, right? You want them to the World Cup qualifiers and Gold Cup. Right? So you don't make no sense you go play them and them can't play.
But so to be honest though, like we look for you in the mother still and we look for forward.
No. Don't look at Madison. We don't bring in young players from overseas.
No man, Kranky.
No. We don't do that. That's not what we do. Those spots are reserved for young, locally born players.
I look at Warner Brown and see what Warner Brown did, right? In terms of coming in, getting opportunity to score a goal and thing. And I'm like, if we're looking forward to the future, which is injured and just a come back and think. Madison, as a matter of fact, there's a stat that shows Warner Brown is the 7th player that plays was born in the 2000s that scored for Jamaica recently.
And that means you're 20. That means at 25. That means that's not good enough, people.
No man, it's 25 and younger.
That's what I'm saying. That's not good.
But the only thing I'm trying to say, I think Madison is 21. Yeah, what I'm saying is Kranky. Madison is at that age where we should be looking at Madison to completely. Madison is in a league, Kranky, where he's not being looked at by England unless a club buy him in the Premier League.
I thought I heard that Mothersill. Was it Mothersill? Maybe I'm thinking with somebody else. Who was the one who decided to go to England, just like we called when he was 18? Was that Hutchinson and Mothersill?
Hutchinson.
Remember, they had 2 players who I guess they decided to. They called him. Jamaica's going to call him. They called him for what under 18 or whatever it was.
No man, one day I thought, man.
It's not Mothersill, right? It was Hayden. It was Hutchinson. Catamarti. Okay.
Catamarti. But but the thing about it is that if you're not playing in the EPL, Kranky, you're not going to play for England.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you may not play for England, right? It's very few players. You're right. Nowadays, you have to be in the EPL. They're not calling championship players.
Years.
They're not even calling Syria player, much less championship.
The only time a championship player was called was the guy we did one, Calvin Phillips.
Yeah, Calvin Phillips when he was at Leeds, yes.
And at the time Leeds just qualified for the championship. As someone knows England was qualified for the Premier League. As someone know England serious because when we were looking at Calvin Phillips, the man just got draft of Calvin Phillips. And the first time I see England at 25 years taking a player that just qualified for the English Premier League. I remember your team, I got it on my back of my bar in the tank. And you bring this guy coming at the team. They might say England I keep them eyes, but if we look at it, there's a way to say, Mothersill, as a matter of fact, if Mothersill coming to Jamaica team now, He's starting. He's a starting striker.
You know what? May I ask somebody that question then? That's the way we're not pursuing him.
Yeah. I hear what the coach saying at the press conference.
I know the man depend on an injured Michael Antonio.
You know, the press conference, the coach said, him with boy, we not problem because we not pick because he's not enough goal scorers or centre forward.
Right.
And then you start to mention Michael Antonio, who I would love to see him recover and start playing back football, but come on. Jamaica football needs somebody right now, one talisman right now. And Madison is right there, 21 years old. Yeah, here's this other guy that was playing for Norwich. Where is he now?
Yeah, no, look, I mean, there are a lot of players overseas of Jamaican heritage. The JFF is a barrier. The JFF is a barrier. Let's be honest. The JFF and some of its stakeholders who elect them, they're the barriers. So we can't do anything about it. We have to live with the outcome.
Next time I'm going to the press conference, I said, Coach, the last time we were here, you spoke on the lackluster or the lack there of centre forwards. I mentioned something to you and you never rung a bell. What do you
you have to reposition the question though. We talk about that. Reposition the question. No, I'm serious. You have to reposition the question. We talk about that. I'm not come to press conference now. I'll try to drop to some people so them can answer. I'm not come back. No, I'm not disrespect. I'm not come back.
Yeah, you know what? The one thing I never like, it seems like he was getting up in his feelings. Brother, you have uncomfortable. You're there, so you are charged with getting Jamaica back into the World Cup. You're not there, so we get comfortable.
Hey, CC. Let me tell you something, CC. It's a lack of respect because in England, they ask 10 times worse question. They're much more direct. They're much more. They're actually offensive. So that nothing to do with my question. Him can't get them feelings on him. What? Me not really care. It's not my problem. Me ask that question because you're not in the island. You talk about playing and system, and you have a chance to coach your system. You come back here, watch Wise Scout or whatever you want to watch. Joke thing.
No, I don't. Exactly. I'm at this stage. You see, if this Chinese, this 4 Nation thing happen, and we don't see those players like Madasil and them play it. Kranky, me did say it from day one, you know, is this coach a double agent? Because you come on press conference and tell them, but me have a video with the ball, you know, to say, is this coach a double agent? Because you come to the press conference telling us about players at 27, 28, 29, at the back end of them career, young players. I don't really disrespect nobody, but I'm just saying, there are good enough younger players that are better than these older players that we are bringing. Why is it that the older players can get the opportunity to come and play for Jamaica, but the younger players cannot get the opportunity to come and play for Jamaica? And a lot of these guys would jump at the opportunity to come and play international football, which would propel their career as well.
It's not the coach, you know. The JFF is the one who does the scouting. The coach rely upon a very distributed coaching. It's not the best organized coaching scouting network, to be honest. It's not even a network. There's a few people do some role. The JFF is the problem. We're not going to beat around the bush. JFF is the problem.
But remember when we do a video trying to talk about 10 players, I look them and say, and everybody, all of us on YouTube. Some of us, we are watch all of the players and we are see the things, the man. We are looking and say, if we can see it, Kranky. Some of we
No. CC. There was an American kid. I was just searching through YouTube. An American kid who brought up 7 players. Somebody didn't know those players. An American kid talking about Jamaican persons, descendants, who have Jamaican nationality. One for Sheffield, midfielder, I think his name Clark or something. Bunch of them who could play for Jamaica. I didn't know about those players. So there are other people doing it and we're not doing it.
Listen, the man understands 2 things where I get wrong. Number 1, with recruitment, wrong. And number 2, development, wrong. So we can't develop nobody. We're not able to develop a sustained development system or concept. And then we can't recruit properly. So what are we trying to do? And to me, and neither is mutually exclusive, Kranky, because we can improve in our development, and we would still be recruiting. It just means that we would be far more of a powerhouse in the Concacaf region than we are right now. Like,
so CC, here's the problem. Here's the problem, people. The coach setup made this big deal about 10 people on the bench, right? But yet he wasn't comfortable with making any change. Most of the more seasoned and respected offensive players were on the field. You know, trust Dixon. Send up here, Dixon. CC, it's not a music channel. Want to get me copyright in my youth. You have music in the background. So he has all these players who are offensive players are on the field. Him have 10 players and him say now he must basis him on the bench. So why you have 10 players there and you not respect your bench? What's that about? Right? You see your Brax, you have 10 locally players and how they pressure the overseas players, and yet you don't trust them to put them on the field. So there's no competition for places. The coach is a politician.
Listen, Kranky, it's crazy because at one point in time I'm like, if you're going to carry Dixie to put him on the field for 2 minutes, don't call him.
I know, waste some money. He should have played him more. No, he should have played him more. It is more game time. These are more game time.
If you're not going to give him the game time, just don't call you. The youth wants to England and improve. This idea of calling people to come sit down on the bench for 2 minutes that you don't think is ready don't make no sense. Players that are going to be called, Kranky, are got to be players that I think are ready. I'm never leave this with the people in the chat and you, Kranky. Leon Bailey is the Jamaican Vinicius Jr. And I'm going to put it like this. Vinicius Jr. for Brazil, garbage. Garbage. Absolute garbage. Not doing anything. Leon Bailey for Jamaica, same thing. Big baller in a Europe, Champions League baller. Jamaica, nothing. Vinny, big baller in a Europe, Brazil baller, nothing.
Yeah. Vinny doesn't produce for Brazil like he does for Real Madrid.
The other day when man about Ballon d'Or, I'm like, bro, he ain't doing nothing for Brazil. He ain't doing nothing. Look at them, Julian Alvarez, baller. Julian Alvarez for Argentina is the same Julian Alvarez they're going to. I think Pep Guardiola made a mistake selling that player because his impact at Atletico Madrid, his impact in the Champions League, his impact in La Liga, and his impact for Argentina different on a different level.
Yeah, Alvarez is a good player.
Yeah, and I'm like, we have this guy named Leon Bailey who is supposed to be the best player we have because he's the only player in the team playing Champions League football. Right? And you're not taking it upon yourself. I always tell people, between Leon Bailey and Christian Pulisic, I used to say at club level, they were playing in the same league and I think they were comparable. When I see Christian Pulisic come and play for America, I see where Pulisic has actually impacted America vastly. And I don't see where Leon Bailey is impacting Jamaica on that level. And I said, bro, it's the same football you're playing. Like, why can't you come down here and give us some of that magic?
He should be on the bench. The coach is afraid of benching Bailey or taking him off the field. He should be on the bench. He doesn't deserve to play. Doesn't deserve to start. That's not to play. Doesn't deserve to start. He hasn't done nothing to deserve to start. I'm sorry, he doesn't. So anyway, thanks, DC. Appreciate the call.
Yeah, man, big up.
Yeah, and I'm going to get beaten about that and say me I fight Bailey, but my eyes don't deceive me, people. Trust me. My eyes do not deceive me. Not playing well. Don't see how he deserves his play. Don't see how he deserves his position. Doesn't make any sense to me. Seriously. It doesn't. But hey, people love him. He's celebrating Jamaica, and he should. He give back. The only thing with Bailey do Jamaica is like in Bellevue thing, charitable thing. But I don't see where he doesn't play well for Jamaica. People don't seem to realize that. He does not play well for Jamaica. I don't see it. I can understand the concern about a local player and criticizing him, but he doesn't play well for the country. So I don't know what we need to do. I don't know what we can say to appease people, make them feel good, because it is what it is. If you don't play good, we can't see you play good, people. I'm trying to find some stats here. If you don't play good, we cannot see you play good. That's not how it works. And to me, I'm watching the game yesterday, and I'm like, how do you justify him being on the field? How do you justify Cephas being on the field? Forget about Bailey, because second half he improved. Cephas was so poor, it was hard. I know he felt good about scoring because that's the only thing he did. And people say, well, scoring is important. Yeah, but he was poor. He was so poor, it hurt. I was begging for Cephas to be on the field. I was pushing for Cephas. Man was beyond poor. Man, I can't even pass a ball. He might cross and shoot at the same time. Jesus. The rest of the team played really well. So let's do something, people. Because if I don't like talking and now on the stats. And let me say this, in today's football, you know what's important in life, people? Let me tell you this. Stats are everything. Well, almost everything. Seriously. Stats are almost everything. As I said the other day, I heard Toulouse saying they only buy players based on stats. Let me repeat that, people. A professional football team in France saying they only buy players based on stats. They use stats, including AI. They have 45,000 players in their data. 45,000 players, people. Probably about 100 and something countries. And they only buy players based on stats. They take the stats, they parse the stats, they assess the stats. Now, you may say, well, that is not the best team in the world. All the other teams are using stats. Yeah, quant, yes, Flash G. Lot of quant stuff. But that's where think about it, people. When you take your exam, don't the stats come out in terms of what grade you get? For them assess how well you perform. If you're a sales person, don't just how much you sell, no stats you use to figure out how much sale you have. Isn't that what you do with stats? Huh? When you're a basketball player, when you're a football player, when you're Messi and Ronaldo, what them use? Them assist stats, them scoring stats. It's all about stats. If you're a defender, how much blocks you have, how much header you have. It's all about stats, isn't it? We've always used stats. We didn't have the mechanism and the tools to do the quantification of the stats. Basketball player, huh? With all the assists and scoring that's done, those are the main attributes that people look at in terms of outcome, but there's stats that goes into getting there. So stats are everything. Now, there's the eye test component, which I agree with, but the stats tell you everything. So let me just do some stats thing, people, because I think this is important. We'll do some stats. We'll do some stats of the game. When I can't see this, tell me if I can't see this. I try to broaden the thing, you know. I'm take out my view thing. I try to broaden this thing. I can't push it up. So these are the Jamaica players. I wonder if I can make this. These are Jamaica players, right? So we'll go to the stats with these people. We'll go to all of them. We're not the goalkeeper. But let's go to the stats. And you see what I'm talking about with Bailey and Cephas. Even the stats not live with them. So let's do Lembakisa. He had, tell me if you guys can see this. Jerome, you can disagree all you want. You can disagree all you want. Dallas Maverick coming with the stats first, you know, because they had Mark Cuban who was one of the early persons on the internet and realized the importance of stats. Stats is everything in life in general. Trust me, stats are money at the same. Cause our stats is information, you know. So we don't honestly you disagree, Jerome. Our stats is information, you know, being quantified, you know. Everything you do, you can quantify almost everything. Even qualitative data can be quantified. All stats is doing is quantifying the information. Well, I said almost everything. Almost everything. Trust me. Because information is everything. As we all can see nowadays. Look at the stats. He had 7 passes in the final third, which is quite a bit actually for a right back, actually. Not a lot of backward passes, which is good. His passing percentage wasn't great. It was good, but it wasn't great. 72%. His dribble completion, 2 of 3, not bad. 61 touches. I was a little bit surprised that we didn't have more touches with our defenders, actually. He had 14 possession loss. Normally, your left and right back and your wingers all have decent amount of last possession. So 14. I think Lati probably had a decent number too. And he was dribbled past once and had a couple clearances and 3 ball recoveries, right? So not bad stats. I wouldn't say they're awesome stats, but not bad stats for Lembakisa. Now let's go to Lati, the other person, the other wing. Lati had 2 shots, you know. Interestingly enough. Lati had 2 shots, 1 on target. I think it was more like a roller. He had 7 passes in the final third, very similar to Lembakisa. 7 backward passes, Lembakisa had 5. His passing percentage was worse than, even though the eye test said otherwise, but he had 71% passing accuracy. If you look at the game, he had better passing percentages. And part of it was significant because he only had 1 of 6 long balls. And Lati's not a big good long ball passer, and that showed up in that game. Same touches as Lembakisa. 15 possession loss. Lembakisa had 14? So quite a bit. But part of the problem when you play right back or left back, is the sideline is like a defender. He had 1 shot block, 1 clearance, 1 tackle, 1. He didn't get beaten throughout the entire game. In fact, Lati looked really, really good, actually. I must say so myself. So that was Lati. Let's go to King. King had 1 shot on target, missed a chance. I think that chance must have been a header, right? I think he took the header off Hayden's head, actually. I think Hayden probably had a good chance to score that. Not a lot of backward passes, which is impressive, right? Lati and Lemba had more backward passes than King. King passing accuracy was 85%, and some of it was short ball because he had 5 of 9 long passes. And in fact, if you look at his stats, he had 59 touches, which is a little bit less than Lembakisa and a little bit less than Lati. Because the defenders' touches were very similar, And he had 5 of 9 long balls, which is not terrible. I think he was less accurate in the previous game. Completed 2 dribbles. He's very comfortable on the ball, very comfortable moving the ball up the field, very comfortable going by the forwards who pressure him. He doesn't really feel pressure that much, which is really good. So he had 69 touches, 9 possession loss. So he had less lost possession than both Lati and Lembakisa, which is not surprising given where he plays. If you lose the ball too much in here, it's a dangerous area. He was dribble past once. He had 1 clearance and 4 ball recoveries. So King had a decent game, and he got a 6.3 rating. I don't think the rating reflects his play, actually. Because Lati have 7.2. Lembakisa had 6.4. Let's go to Pinnock. Pinnock had 10 balls in the final third, people. It's big enough. 10 balls in the final third, which is interesting. 6 backward pass. King had 5. So our 2 center half didn't go back a lot to the keeper. In fact, they probably shouldn't. Give him the pass that Pinnock made to Blake, where I almost kill him off. His passing accuracy wasn't as good as it normally is. 77%. Probably a contribution is the long passes, 3 of 7. 1 of 1 cross, 1 of 1 dribble completed. 14 possession loss. So he had more possession loss than King, and similar to his left and right back. And he had 2 ball recoveries and 1 2 of 4 aerial duels. Somebody said, what do you mean Jesse going to do the defending? If people don't in your area can't defend them, what do you mean? I will say something to people. I don't know how good a defender King is. He's a good ball playing center back, but I can't tell how good a defender he is. And not because of what happened the other day when he was dribble pass. Now, this isn't Hayden's stats. Many people that beat Hayden, right? You not beat Hayden. 1 key pass, right, in the game. 3 passes in the final third. 9 backward passes. Because my people have him center off them I do 1-2. 88% passing accuracy. Didn't touch the ball as much as he should as a CDM. Can only touch it 40 times. So him to touch it more. But 2 of 3 long balls, 1 of 1 dribble. So if you look at his stats, 5 possession loss. Look at the number of people. Him lose 5 possession. He's probably one of the few people who had less than double digit passes. He played CDM, say in the middle of the park. He only lost the ball 5 times. I didn't see him lose the ball 5 times. So I don't know what I'm talking about. I only see him making 1 bad pass, but I see him lose the ball 5 times. But that's what the stat says. Hayden doesn't really turn the ball over. Right? Doesn't turn the ball over. Your eye test said the pass to start daily. Brandon, what are you talking about? Cephas came on in the previous game and run past the defender all game. We don't know nothing sometime, It was his playing, not no eye test. It was his playing and effectiveness. He helped create the goal. That's why I said starting. Ball recovery 6, interceptions 1, dribble pass 1. That was when you got a yellow card. So Hayden had a good game, but if you hear a lot of people talk, Hayden played poorly. And even the stat man have him at 6.5. I thought he was better than that. Now I think Bobby Reed had a good game. So Bobby Reed had 2 shots, 1 on target, missed a good chance. Well, I call it a half chance. 3 key passes, which is key. 10 passes in the final third, which is also key. 9 backward passes. He probably had more than most, but your midfielders will go back and forth. His passing accuracy was the best I saw so far for the team, 81%. 3 of 6 long ball, 65 touches. So Aiden should be touching the ball more as a CDM. I'm not sure what that. So maybe when Aiden's going, he's getting pressure. Because Bobby shouldn't have 65 and Aiden only have 40. Was fouled one. It lost position 11 times. This is twice as much as Aiden lost position. And Aiden lost position less than most people who lost position in that game had double-digit losses. Aiden had 5 people. So when I say Aiden not play well, I don't think we sort of understand these stats sometimes. 2 interceptions, 5 ball recovery. I thought Bobby had a very good game. And the score reflect that. Now let's go to Gray, and then we get to our other wingers. Gray had 3 total shots, 1 on target, 2 key passes, which is very important, playing the 10, 4 passes in the final third. You see, Bobby had about 10. 6 backward passes, quite a bit, playing the 10. 79% passing accuracy. Crosses, not great, 1 of 4. He only had 38 touches, which I think in the CDM role, not terrible. In the 10 role, not terrible. We'll see how much the forwards and the wingers have. Fouled 3 times, lost position 10 times. Same double digit like the rest of the players. And 2 block shots, dribble pass 1 time. Now let's go to the 2 persons I thought should be on the bench, frankly. So just remember, 10 times. So nobody has lost possession more than 15 times so far, actually. Not 10 times Gray lose possession. I think Gray was very good on the ball. Let's go to C first, then we go to Bailey. No, you know what? Go to Bailey first. Bailey. Total shot 1. Not on target. Offside 0. Key pass is 1. Maybe that's the Dixon assist, I would assume. Or maybe that's the own goal. So he probably had 2 key passes, even though 1 the defender scored. Big chances created 1. Pass in the final third 2. Play a wing 6 backward passes. 65% passing accuracy. I didn't know it was that accurate because 65% to me is not great. Even your forward player, if you have in the 70s, I'm fine. If you have on a 70, I'm questioning you. 1 of 1 long pass, 2 of 4 crosses, 48 touches, lost the ball 20 times, people. And look, funny. 48 touches. So Gray had 38 touches. He had 48, lost the ball 20 times. But he had 6 ball recoveries and 1 interception. Let's go to CFAS. CFAS had 5 total shots, 3 on targets. Well, 1 was a good chance he had. 1 shot on target. He missed a big chance, but I'm not sure why that's not here. He had 1 big chance when he was pressured by the defender, but he could have put it in. 6 backward passes, 62% passing accuracy. So Bailey passing accuracy is 65. His is 62, under 70%. 1 of 2 dribble completed. If you have CFAS, you can't have 1 or 2 dribble people. Yeah, if you have like 6, 7 take-ons and say you have 4 of 7 or 5 of 7. 36 touches, 17 possession loss. So Bailey had what? How much touches Bailey had? Was it 40 something? Had 20 loss. CFAS almost lost half of the ones and balls that he touched. And he had 5 ball recoveries. He played well defensively though. He was pressuring the same Vincent chance. And then last but not least, so here's good stats, people, because Brown not touch the ball enough. So Brown had 2 total shots, score a screamer, 2 key passes. The one that Gray missed was not a true chance. The ball was played behind Gray. I watched it 3 or 4 times on highlights. It was behind Gray. I wouldn't call it a half chance. It was a good cross, but a little bit behind Gray, so he couldn't get to it. He's trying to flick his foot. 2 key passes. 92% people, 11 of 12. So him had 11 of 12 passes, got to his destination. 1 of 3 dribbles completed, which is where he scored the goal. 20 touches. And him lost the ball 4 times. So you think about CFAS, 38 touches, lose the ball 17 times. When you play center forward, that means you have much more pressure. So he's a 1 in 5, and CFAS is about a 1 in 2. And Bailey is about a 1 in just over 2. Last position 4 times. That means because he brought out a good game. Not enough touches, only 12 touches now. And 20 touches is not, could be a little bit more. But he was 11 of 12 passing. Brown played very, very well. I agree, Jason. Mobile, have some skills, quick, moving off the ball, and put Shamar to shame. Put Shamar to shame. And well, they're not calling Leon miss because Leon tackled himself. Sorry, I'm drink some water, people. Leon tackled himself in the box. Remember when Leon played against the US? You know, we were attacking in the first part of the game. The man get the ball in the box and follow himself. Twice, but one time on the left side, big in the game, man get the ball in a good position for shoot and just trip over himself. It's like him just get clumsy. You understand where I'm going? So Jerome said, Brown is a good striker, just a bit raw, but last night he showed he's a prospect. He's a prospect. He played well. He played really, really well. He played well in the first game. He got a penalty that most people wouldn't have gotten. He got up and put himself in position to get the penalty. No, it was a chance because he was about what? About the 12-yard line, 11-yard line, and he kicked it with he's trying to shoot with his right foot and his left foot kicked it. So that means he's not putting his foot beside the ball to shoot the ball, right? That's technique. Ego said, Brown remind me of Maddox. No, Brown is a good player. People, if you haven't hit the like button, please do so. We'd welcome you doing so. So somebody just text me some information. Mr. Them just text me. Okay. Somebody's texting me about some stuff. Yeah, there is concern in Jamaica, even within the JFF people, that the process to naturalize players is less than okay. I'm going to use some euphemism here. The process to naturalize players is not a good one. We are not pushing to naturalize players the way we should, right? Which is part of the problem we are facing. So you'll have players who don't play for Jamaica. As someone told me the other day, a very good source, that the Mario Gray paper process took 2 years. He applied in 21. He didn't get his paper till, 23 before the Gold Cup, which is not good. So, well, I don't know if it's the government or peak, however it is, but it has to be that we do a better job of naturalizing players. Now, I don't know what Mr. Ricketts is doing or Dennis is doing, but I know they have contact with certain members of parliament who may be able to influence this. I mean, Dennis knows Babsy Grange. You know what? Yeah, that's a question anyway. There's got to be a way to. These players have what I call an expeditious process, and they're like almost like VIP process, where you're processing the paperwork a little bit different than you do there has to be something where people with extraordinary skills are being treated and processed differently. Because that's just life in general. Bailey's stats were different. We are talking about Ranger. He lost the ball 20 or 48 times. He missed a big chance. He had 65% passing accuracy. And you say him play well. Boy, someone just... We are so hell-bent on the players we like. Nothing you can show us. So they're not doing well. When you lose the ball 20 times, the most on the team, the most probably of any player in the game, and you say the player played well, and we know he didn't play well. Who are we trying to convince? Come on, Ranger. You can do better than that, Ranger. You're better than that, Ranger. Trust me, you're better than that. You may like Bailey as a player, and that's fine, nothing wrong with that, but don't give us that narrative. And this is because anybody beating him. Don't give us a narrative. We're not by the narrative. I don't know, Jason. It's a good question. I don't know who the link up pick. I know somebody who was with the organization who is helping quite a bit. So people like Devon, you hear the coach mention Devon and Ian. So I can't mention it. They understand what is required from a paperwork standpoint to get naturalized, but they're not in PICA who's going to review the paperwork and proactively say you need to get X, Y, Z. That's part of the problem. You send your paperwork in the US, it can be really bad, and they take forever to come back to you. So if I send my paperwork to you and it doesn't have all the information, I'll go get back to you in 3-4 months if it's not all accurate, right? So yeah. Ranger, you're not making any sense, Ranger. You're not making any sense. When you want to debate me, Ranger, you can call it. Ranger, say the phone number. Yeah. Ranger, since you want the war, we can have the war. Say the phone number, the Ranger. Call in, Ranger. Call in, Ranger. So just say, me impeach myself. You call it, Ranger. You call it. So we can have the discussion. We're not war. We can have the discussion. Kranky, the man was double team most of the game. Did you watch the game? Wow. You know, that's what I'm going to take away. I'm going to take a break from doing Jamaica football. I get really. That's something I take a break from the press conferences. I'm going to take a break in the next couple of weeks to do Jamaica football. Here's why. I like to have very objective discussion and conversations. All right? I try my best. Even with Trump. People know I'm never Trump just because of how terrible he's as a person. But even with Trump, I gave a program where I talked about the benefits and detriments of tariffs. Because I can't see something where there's some good to it, and I just ignore it because I want to make my point. Every time Bailey come, we don't have excuse. Him double team. The man play with no good enough. I start excuse to no make for him. And when Gray come, him score a bag of goal him first time. Right? Him drop off him score 2 goals against US the other day. Nobody makes excuse for Gray now. But no makes excuse for Bailey 24/7. If nobody know who Bailey was, I ain't seen on the team, people that beat the coach for that playing. Let me tell you that right now. In fact, if I'm Dixon, I'm vexed that this player is always playing and I can get a chance to play and he doesn't play well. At least the last game, Cephas run past him defender about 4 or 5 times in about 15 minutes and look dangerous and create the goal. Everybody thought about him get double team. Double team what? Yeah, the ball double team him. Every ball him get him one dribble and then him lose it because people never play against Athletic. You know what? I stop talking about Bailey people because I get frustrated talking about Bailey. I see him thing for the last 5-6 years we have been in this conversation. I see him thing. Yeah, you're right, Ranger. He's been triple team at Aston Villa too. That's why he's playing so well at Aston Villa this year. That's why he's on the bench. He's been triple and quadruple team. That's why he's doing well at Aston Villa, and that's why he's on the bench. Yeah. We can make all the excuses we want to make. Look, you love the player, Ranger. More kudos to you. And the coach afraid to take out the player, by the way. Yesterday was criminal. He and Cephas weren't taken off the field. Criminal, as far as I'm concerned. Criminal that both of them weren't replaced yesterday. And if I was in the press conference, I'd ask the coach a question. Which is you took off Gray, who was having a decent game, and that was very obvious. And you left Bailey and Cephas on, who were poor throughout the entire game. Bailey improved second half. Cephas was poor from 1 minute to the point him scored the goal. And you left him on the field. Why you left him on the field? When Dixon's on the bench, who could probably go out there and give you more of and come up on the field, and in 1 minute, set up a goal. And then we have people making excuses. You guys, hey Ranger, you and all know, never make excuses for any overseas born players. No make no excuse if he didn't come, if who get coming to play well, no beat them. But if it's a locally born player, no make ask that excuse. Last game, King didn't play well. He got his chance. He wasn't that good. He scored a man the goal. This game, he had a very good game. Why can't you guys just say that? Right? I've been advocating for King. I advocated for Cephas. Then you try to beat me, say, why, if any stats alone, Cephas wouldn't. Cephas played really well. That's why I advocate for him. And it was the first game he played well. I watched him play against the US in the Nations League semifinal, and he got a chance to score, but his pace was so significant. But last night, Cephas played like the first time I played football. And people criticized Cephas' mental acuity and his decision-making, and it was very evident yesterday. So I don't have any partiality to any player. I rate King. I like Dixon. I got to be careful with that word, rate. I think Cephas has ability because you can't buy speed, but he has to learn how to play football. Gray beginners luck right now. Yeah. So Ranger, so you know what? I'm going to block Ranger. Do you guys know why I'm going to block Ranger, people? You guys tell me why I'm going to block Ranger. Huh? I'm going to block Ranger. You guys know I'm going to block Ranger? You guys tell me why I'm going to block Ranger. Tell me, I'm going to block Ranger. I just realized who Ranger is. Oh, Lord. Hey, this is funny, people. People, I just realized who Ranger is. No, I know who Ranger is. So Ranger is coming under different names every time now. Yes, it's Football Guru. Football Guru is Ranger. I was wondering about that today. I said, oh, come this person here. So Football guru is Ranger. Wow. So me block him yesterday. Me block him yesterday, people. Me block him. Me just click him out and say, "I don't want to come back on my channel." So, football guru, why are you here, football guru? Why are you here? Why are you here, football guru? You don't like me, and I don't like you. Let's be clear on that. We don't like each other. I don't dislike people in a football guru. Probably the first time I ever said about anybody. In fact, I don't even dislike you. I dislike your attitude. I dislike your biasness, and I dislike how you operate as a person. I consider to you to be, let me be nice, despicable. That's the word that's come to mind. Despicable. I view you to be despicable. Please get out of the channel, Ranger, man. Get out of the channel. Get out, football guru. Leave, man. Leave. With football guru, why don't you have any shame? You know, say Jamaican say no shame. Come, football guru, get some shame, man. Get some shame. Go somebody else's channel. Enough people have channel, Ranger. Enough people have channel. Go on them channel. No come on my channel. Please, Ranger. We don't need you. Ranger, we don't need you. Robot Ranger, from I saw the first thing you drop in a message, that's interesting. Then you drop with your 4 or 5, come to me right away, Ranger. Now, Ranger, you gotta get blocked, man. You know, every time you come on a new name, I'll keep blocking you. You can't change, keep changing now. But yeah, put up a new ID. I'll keep blocking you till you get tired and leave. Yeah, no. I am. I was wondering who that person is, you know. I was wondering which person can be so negative and come up with all that nonsense and trying to justify Bailey's performance when he was so poor. And then you realize the train of thought and the train of how he operates is in his wheelhouse. Just a very despicable person. But anyway, we won't spend time on Ranger. Ranger, you'll be blocked. I'm sure you come back on our name. I'm going to keep blocking you every single day till you disappear. We don't need people like you. What we need is objectivity, right? Some people like Bailey. Let me tell you some people, because people don't think that way. I have nothing against Leon Bailey, no. I have a problem with non-performance. I have a problem with bad performances. So people beat me, come and say King for player. Then beat me, Claudine beat me, come and say Dixon for player. And beat me, we say Cephas for player. But if they don't play well, I can't come sit here as a hypocrite and say you play well when you don't play well. I can't do that. I was saying Cephas, 10 people on Cephas yesterday. That's what I was saying. Any 10 on Cephas. Cephas are any 10, sorry. Cephas was poor. Me can't support him. And then people say, yeah, fight local band players. No. As I said yesterday, everybody play well to me except the two wingers them. King played really well. The midfield I thought was very, very good. Blake, except him left foot, play well and make. But Blake played well. That cross that came across was a dangerous cross. If Blake not get down for that cross, that the man score because him there right there. So Blake, 99% of the time, Blake play well. Right? 99% of the time, Blake plays well. That's one thing we can say. Consistency is key. Right? Bobby Reese look like he can find a spot because Bobby in the 10, in the first game, wasn't working. Bobby Reed, look at the Ika. Bobby a worker, you know. When you have a person who's a workhorse, you know, and then can pass the ball, hey, good. You can say what you want to say, Ranger. I block you. I don't care what you want to say. I block you. You can't say wrong what you want to say. I block you. So if you're not a football group, sorry, we block you. Can't deal with you. See, yeah, people saying these Cephas play. See, hey, people. First of all, both stats and eye test for Cephas was bad. In his, Cephas touched the ball a lot in the first 20 minutes, you know. Had the ball on the left, you couldn't tell if he was shooting or passing a number of times. You couldn't tell what he was doing. It's almost like him just come down and say, no, I don't know what to do. There was one play in the game. I almost recorded it, but I don't want to get blocked. I don't want copyright violation. Guys, you remember this play? Cephas had the ball on the left side. He cut inside. Lati sprint outside. Cephas had to do the reverse pass, you know. And Lati's almost in and people. So the defense call up on Cephas, you know. Cephas just kick with the ball. I tried some shot where nothing close to the goal. All he had to do was reverse pass and Lati is in. This is not about beating Cephas, you know, people. This is about calling out players who play well and critiquing players who don't play well. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Good evening, Kranky.
Good evening. Who am I speaking to?
All right, so this is calling.
How are you doing?
Yeah, man, I'm calling from Jamaica, you know.
Yes, I can see that. What do you have to say?
Yeah, basically I've been listening to you for a while now.
Okay.
So, but because of school, I can't get to really follow up every day or every evening, you know.
But I appreciate being a listener. Appreciate you.
Yeah, but I just hear a little rant. I heard a little rant.
That was a big rant, but go on. go.
Yeah, and you know, it kind of sometimes I have a headache with the issue that you are having. People don't discuss the issue; they tend to discuss based on emotion.
Right.
But to be honest, you're a guy you discuss things intelligently, even though sometimes personally you talk foolishness for me. I can appreciate you breaking even though you talk foolishness, you know, you break it down and let us understand why you say what you said.
So is it foolishness that you just not agree with me? Is it foolishness that you just not agree with me?
Well, yeah, it can be both, you know.
Okay.
It can be both. Yeah, but what I appreciate is that you always tend to break down what you're saying so people can understand.
Right.
And I can appreciate that.
Well,
and so what you're saying now about Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey hasn't played, I can't recall Leon Bailey play a proper game for Jamaica since he has started playing for Jamaica. And last night was one where he was basically average. You know, probably about 45% play good. What I noticed with Bailey is that every time he get the ball, you know, he doesn't look to progress the ball quickly forward.
Right.
He rather turn in circle and try to beat one man 2-3 times before he can make a decision, you know. And that really slowed down our play. And to me, Bailey doesn't want to get injured when he comes to play for Jamaica. That is my opinion. That is all.
You think so? No, I don't agree with that. I think he's trying. So people think I just beat it. I think he's trying. It's just not working. I don't think he's trying to avoid injury. He got a big hit yesterday, by the way. That kid that played left back, the big kid, is a really hard hit, actually. Right? I got yellow card. Yeah.
I know, but what I'm saying, I'm not seeing that aggression from him. I'm not seeing that quick passing. I'm not seeing that intent to shoot. You know, I'm not seeing none of that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's of a assist person before a shoot person or what. That's what I'm seeing. When he's playing for Jamaica, he looks to be more an assist than look to go for goal or something like that.
Right.
That's what I'm seeing, you know. Basically, but I am going to continue this now.
Yeah, man. Appreciate the call.
When I get a chance, I can call it.
Okay. Yeah, appreciate the call.
Okay.
I'm replying to somebody. So Mitchell 7 So Mitchell, people, hey, Mitchell, there's a different way to address someone. You never said them go one side. You can say, I disagree with you, Mitchell. It still have the same effect on Mitchell, which is you disagree. You never try to slam the person with your language to make your point, Mitchell. Trust me. Because some Jamaicans like to do that way. Them feast them beat out them chest. Them say if you go here, you don't have to do that. You can't do that with somebody you just totally disagree with, you know, and you don't like to deal with, like me and football guru. But you can't say, Kranky, me disagree with you versus say, Kranky, if you go. And work on the communication part. But I understand what you're saying. I said Cephas and 10 because of how you played that game. And we needed some impetus on the left because Bailey and Gray were slowing the game down. That's the point. I call it like I see it. I'm not saying Cephas is the best player. People beat me. Chris just come beat me all the time about Cephas. Right? And when you're right, you're right. Cephas played, I think, very, very good in 25 minutes. Most people say Cephas should come on, shouldn't start. All Cephas is doing is proving them right with him play. I don't think Cephas can play football now, but he can't play football, if that makes any sense. His decision making is so poor, it's painful. Painful. And Jamaica only really produce very good wingers, you know. And maybe it's a center halves. Jamaica produce good midfielders, you know, people. Name me one very good Jamaica midfielder who we have now anywhere. I know Makala is there and Anglin is there and Phillips are there, but do we have any midfielders the ability to have even what Shamar has achieved, or where Dixon they know, or where Bailey is, or even Cephas there. We don't produce midfielders. So why we not go get, for example, you know what? Hey, Thomas Partey, come to Jamaica and give some lessons of a player CDM, for example. We're not bring them, pay them fear, JFF, and bring them to Jamaica and say, you know what? Let's run some clinic. Let's have you talk to the people who are playing. Let's tell them how you think, Thomas, because you're an exception in that. Why don't we get some of the experts to come teach them? Because there's somebody not teach them. Yeah? Good night. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, Kranky.
Magic, why you say, man?
Them a play too much with them foot and use them head, brother.
Too much football.
Yeah, too much football and not using football.
Yeah. That's Cephas, you know. Everybody talk about Cephas and Cephas do the same thing people say.
Yeah, but and only Cephas, you know, when you make decision and you have the ball and you make so much turnover and bad pass, that a part of your whole headset.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I say? You can't look on your foot or look on your boots when you have kick the ball to the next opponent. You know what I say?
Yeah, that's Cephas though. You said not Cephas alone, but Cephas do that a lot actually. Because his head never lift up and down. When he dribble, his head is always down and now. You look when Gray's dribbling people.
Yeah, but not say other than Cephas.
Right.
Bailey lose the ball a lot too.
Yeah. But at least Bailey played at a high level and Bailey has had some success. Cephas, yeah. But you're right. Bailey, I thought the two wingers were poor. And people are disputing that. I don't know how you can dispute that. What were your thoughts on the two wingers yesterday? And the game overall? Yeah.
Of course they were poor.
Yeah.
You know what I say? You if they weren't, you'd have a better flow of the game.
Yeah. Because between the two of them, they lose the ball about 40 times, you know.
Okay, according to your stats or whatever, right?
Yep. Between the two of them, they probably had about, they had less than 100 touches in total and then lose the ball about maybe almost half the time. Yeah.
So you have less than 100 between the two and lose the ball about 40 times.
Yeah.
And how much, like, you say, how much danger pass out of that would have
I think Bailey had two actually. One wasn't credited to him, but remember the one the own goal, that was his pass, and then the one that Dixon saved, that was his pass also. That went back to Cephas.
Yeah, but some of them things.
But I'm just saying, give him one. Say him have one dangerous pass. So it's not like you make dangerous pass that go take more risk. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're all 90 minutes, Virgin, come on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, this modern football is supposed to do better than that.
Totally agree with you, sir. Totally agree with you. Yeah, man.
But go and take care of yourself, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate the call. Yeah, appreciate the call.
Man, nobody follow them little brother them what. You have some brother that try to be like some torn people, you know, but them not no sense in you, so you just need to deal with them right in you.
All right, I hear your magic. Appreciate the call, sir.
Yeah, man, one love.
Yeah, bless up. So that was magic, people. Hey, the man, it's a play ball with magic, you know. Magic is really magic, people. The man have magic in them foot. It's a play ball at Buffalo in New York with Diego Garden, Magic, and a bunch of the players. Dynamo, very good Jamaican footballers. But Magic was the one boy. I spent your play on the concrete. Magic was magic itself. Magic always never rushed. They can't get the ball off him. Anyway, Magic, appreciate the call, sir. Magician. Full of ball. I'm surprised people like Magic not play at a high level. Seriously. Magic, you have got to tell me that one day, Magic. I'm surprised you don't play football at a high level. Because you had all the necessary technical skills as a midfielder for play football at a high level. So never understand one day. Where are we? Some people, if you want to call him, I'll close the program down soon enough. So if you want to call in people, please do so. So the caller says, ignore the trolls. Yeah. People, you know, Jamaican now, so when people push you have to push back harder now. I know you say this. You push me hard, I'll push back harder than you push me now. So I stay. But you're right. Maybe sometime I should just close my eyes and ignore it. Well, let's see how that works. I'm gonna try to do that. Let's see how successful I am. Junior Lopez says Rudolph Austin was a good CDM. Yeah, Rudolph was a good CDM. And he played at a decent level too. All right, Rudolph was a good CDM. So you're right. But I'm just saying, Junior Lopez, if you think about the footballers, right? Think about the footballers we produce. Whether it's Luton Shelton, Ricardo Fuller, maybe Gardner defense. Which midfielder we produced that played at a decent level overseas? At top of them, I played on really big old level overseas now. You know, top of days, we never export as much players. But you think about the history of Jamaica football. And we talk about skill code from way back when, who was deemed to be a very good midfielder and went to play in Brazil. We haven't produced any really good midfielders, you know. Really midfielders, commanding midfielders who play at a high level. We haven't. We have more forwards. Right now we have Shamar overseas, we have Beard overseas. Look at all the players that we export. Most of them are forwards. Good evening, good night.
Good night, thank you. I called you the other night with Andre.
Okay.
And I was asking Andre if he teaches ball intelligence.
Yes, I recall that. Yes.
Yes. That's the reason.
Oh, you mean.
This is Cephas why I asked that question.
Yeah.
Game intelligence and game awareness. It was feast season. And I told you I wouldn't start him. I would let him come on when defenders tired and run at him and run at them.
Well, I think what Cephas has done is make sure that narrative is deemed correct, because his performance was I have no idea. I have no idea how Cephas didn't get substituted. I don't understand. I don't know what the coach is looking at. I don't know what the coach is looking at.
I hear people complaining, but I wonder if people realize Gray was playing midfield yesterday.
He's playing the 10, yeah.
Yeah, he was playing midfield.
Mm-hmm.
And Lati is the one who made the big difference in the team.
Yes. Lati did, but I thought Bobby Reed played really well too. I thought the entire midfield played well.
The midfield was good.
Yeah, I thought the midfield well.
Aiden is on a different class.
Well, people beat Aiden can't understand the football. If you beat Aiden from Jamaica team, you don't understand the football. You don't understand the football.
Yeah.
You don't understand the football.
Aiden have a role. That's why you play CDM.
Yeah.
You keep the defense shape.
Yep.
That's his job. Not to score goals.
Yeah, not to give away the ball either.
Yeah, and not to give away the ball.
Yeah.
And how many times he give away the ball?
He had 40 touches and 5 giveaways. It was the best by the team by far. I think he was the only.
Yes.
He may have been the only person who don't have a double-digit giveaway now.
Yes.
Meaning his giveaway was less than half of anybody else, actually. Apart from Blake. I think Blake had double-digit also, because Blake played long passer. I think his giveaways were probably less than half of everybody else who started in that game.
And I think this team is not too far off. 3 more players added to this team, you can have a decent team.
Okay.
Yes.
So you think the team, you like the look how the team look. But remember, this is St. Vincent,
But you see, people don't realize it's 15 players and St. Vincent is playing abroad.
Yes, there are 15 of them, please. Yes.
So we expect to run over them all the time. See, Jamaica talk a lot of football, but they don't know football.
Well, I wouldn't say they don't know football, but we sometimes don't respect our opponents.
Yeah, if they know football, they would research St. Vincent and know that they're not a walkover. Worse they beat El Salvador, who give us trouble all the time.
Yes, you're right. They did beat El Salvador, who does give us trouble. And they had lost 1 in 8, or because the coach was providing the stats about how they were doing, and it's a fair point. It's a fair point.
And the coach is a decent coach. He's a coach Chicago Fire.
Yeah, the coach is actually a decent coach, and he speaks well too.
Yes.
Yeah. He speaks well.
Because what I realized, they play well and they're very organized.
They are organized. They play with a lot of energy. Yeah.
And when they break very fast, like how you say Liverpool would break quick.
Yeah, they do break fast. They have a good team. Yes. They have a good team. They if they keep, as he said, he did say it's a young team. They have a few older players, and he looked like he's in a good spot.
Yeah.
He's in a good spot. No, I thought they played well. They played well.
Yeah, man. Cephas needed. I don't know.
See, can he be helped at this point in your career? Cephas what Cephas? What, 24?
Man.
Cephas has to learn to play football.
That asset that he has.
Yes.
Every time I saw Cephas, I scratch my head. If you notice, Hayden was talking to him on the field and he was holding down his head.
Yeah, no. Cephas is he has to learn to think football. I think that's coaching, that's coaching.
Of course.
That's coaching. That's coaching. Hopefully he'll get better. Because with speed like that, here's what he doesn't do. He doesn't set up his defender either. Meaning he doesn't step over the ball, he must step right and go left, he just try to go straight. And sometimes you have to get the defenders off balance to go by them. He doesn't do that well.
I used to dabble in little coaching, and coaching is different. My cousin coached 12 under 12 in Canada, and you have to have a B license.
Yeah.
Right? And every evening, he's going to coach. He has to write a lesson plan like a teacher.
Okay.
Because when he goes, the director will come and say, "What are you coaching?" So he has to show the director. He has to show the director lesson plan that he has. If it's 1B1, he's gonna 3 defensive or whatever. He's gonna coach a day.
Yeah, so every session you have to be able to articulate what you're gonna do, and you have a plan for each session.
Yes.
Before the game, talked about that too. Actually, he does that because he was an academy. Yeah.
You have to write a lesson plan.
Yeah.
It's coming like those primary school teachers.
Well, you're coaching young kids, so you should have that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So until we start doing those things in Jamaica, man, we're not gonna catch up.
Well, I hope we start soon, because we don't have forever to do this. I hope we start soon.
Well, talent can bring us there, eh?
Yeah. I will go buy some talent. Go buy some talent.
We don't have to buy talent. We have enough talent.
Yeah.
All over the world.
Well, no, I say buy talent, meaning because people in Jamaica don't think about it as local. And say if you're outside Jamaica, it's like you acquire the talent. Because they don't want to complain and they just use you for win, but they don't really want to complain. People in Jamaica they want people overseas to come be part of anything. They don't.
One at a time, Canada was one of Jamaica being the stick. It ain't gonna happen again. Ish.
No, that's not happening. That's not happening. Canada is a different class. Canada challenging the US now. Yeah.
If we don't change what we do in Jamaica, we'll never beat Canada again.
Yeah, I'd agree with that
The last time was pure luck because they were celebrating too early.
Yeah.
And the good thing with that game, the Jamaicans came out, I think that maybe.
You mean the game in Canada? The game in Canada, yeah.
Yes, man. Yeah. I went to the doctor the next day. I lost my voice.
Yeah. Because you know why? People in Canada are more, it's not as spread out as in, well, that's probably not true because New York have a lot of Jamaicans, but most of the people in Toronto, right? That Jamaicans are always in Toronto. Yeah.
But people travel from Montreal for that game,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, people travel come down.
No, the Canadians came out. They came out. And not like in New York or in the US. They came out. They did a great job actually of providing support.
Even the president, Richards, was saying, "Man, so much of you live here."
Yeah. There are a lot of Jamaicans in Canada, man. Lots.
Half of the stadium was Jamaican.
Yeah. Nah, it's a good thing.
Yeah, but Canada know that, Canada never used to play Jamaica and Toronto, They used to go to Edmonton.
Okay.
It's because they have this team now, they think they can beat us. Because when they play Jamaica, they say it's a home game for Jamaica.
Well, the US played us 98 in Washington, D.C. They'd never come back to the East Coast to play Jamaica. No. Never. Never. But they were outnumbered in the stadium. They never come back to the East Coast.
Yeah. That's what it should to happen to Canada.
Yeah.
They go Calgary or Edmonton.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you. You have a good night.
Yeah, man. I appreciate the call. Thanks, Tommy. Yeah. All right, people. I get ready for close on the show. Let me just say, it's over 2 hours and I'm going to do tours more than 2 hours. Let me say this. We're not here just to criticize players, right? The objective of this discussion sometimes is just to have a conversation. If a player does well, they get their flowers. And that's good for the coaches also. That goes for everybody who is part of the conversation. If you don't do well, we can't see you do well. We have to call it like we see it. Right? That's what we do. As you look at the Jamaica team going to the Gold Cup, we need to improve the team. That to me is obvious. The coach has been saying this for a while now. You know? I'm not sure people's been listening. Now, I know he talked about the 10 JPL players and the 10 overseas-based players, and you have almost a half and half. That balance thing that, you know, the person in Jamaica I talk about. It's not about balance. It's about, do I have a good enough team to compete? Because when we're watching the games, we expect to win. We want to win. We expect to win. We're not watching games to say, do we have right balance? Because when the outcome is bad, we want to criticize all the players. Instead, we can't praise poor performance. We can't praise poor performance. Nobody want to be a loser. We praise Cavaliers and them lose 4-0. And them lose 6-0 last year. So them lose 10-0 over 2 years. And we praise them. Maybe because they exceed expectation. But if you take a reflect back and look at it, you're saying to yourself, was that great? Good night. Last call for the evening.
Kranky, good night.
Good night.
How you doing today? Tonight?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Good. So I was pleased as far as the performance.
Right.
Wasn't the best, but we got the job done. Right. So, which we had to. Right. I don't think the fans, and I don't think even some of the local players understand some of the gems that we have, especially a player like Hayden, Pinnock, Latibadere, even Leon Bailey. But, you know, Bailey doesn't give his all, as they say, but I rather a Bailey than, you know, somebody else, to be honest.
Okay.
When it comes to Hayden, I call him Mr. Clean. The guy is a player. He doesn't have to do too much, and he knows exactly what to do, right? And I just think if we could add another player, not similar to his playing set, but like a Ravel that can deal with the ball,
right?
And a couple more players, Jamaica would be in a very good place.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure the coach see it. In my eyes, him and Ravel probably got something personal. He saw something personal that he don't like with Ravel, just by the way I answered the question when they asked about Ravel and if he's going to be on the team.
Yep.
He was very nonchalant, like carefree, like, oh, whatever, Ravel, who cares?
Yeah, but I say this one, he's disingenuous though, because when he's asked a question about Ravel, he will say, I know him from Man U. I was almost safe to say, you know what? Yeah, I welcome him. I know him. I understand him. But that's not what he means, I think, actually. I know him. I don't want him part of my team. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm interpreting. Yeah.
No, you're 100% correct. And for me, it only goes up from here. The coach brought in an assistant coach. I don't know about the guy. I have to read up on him. I have no clue who he is. Yeah, I think if we continue to go down this path and bring in a couple of more players with experience, like the coach has been saying that since he got hired. So for me, the Gold Cup will determine what World Cup playoffs look like.
Right.
Yeah. So we'll see. Only time will tell.
Yeah, totally agree with that.
All right, Kranky. Thanks for the show. You have a good night.
Yeah, man. Thanks for calling. Appreciate it.
No problem.
So I see Nitro saying that BBC saying that say Nitro, what's the biggest club in Britain? It depends on what criteria you're using on Nitro. Historically, yeah, Man U. Today's environment, I don't know what we're using. And I don't see Chelsea in the mix. Oh, Chelsea's there. Is it revenues? Is it your net assets? Because Man U have a lot of debt. Is it your reach? Is it your fan base? What are we defining biggest by? Is it all of the above? Depends on how you want to define biggest. Because right now, the way they're performing like a League 2 team, frankly. Unlikely. No, but you need those people in your team, Ricardo. You can't always have gems, Lati, to me, is a very good defender, left or right back. He's a right footer. You put a left back, and he was one of our better defenders yesterday, if not the best of the 4 defenders. He looked solid yesterday. Man, you don't get beaten no time in the game. His player can't run by him. Could be historical to DeMario. Yeah, historically. Well, no, Man U and Liverpool historically are pretty similar. Liverpool was dominant in the 70s and 80s. Man U won much more Premier League than Liverpool has. So, it all depends on how I want to think about this, right? Lati, people are calling for Lati's head, I know them. See it? When the stone of the builder refused to become the head cornerstone, dash him away, and then you realize, you know what? Maybe it's not as bad as we thought. And you want to bring him back in. And he produced. Right? Dismissed. I said Lati is not a true midfielder. We have to enhance the midfield. But I saw Lati playing defense up close and personal, and I'm telling you, he's a good defender. Read the game really well. Very aggressive on the ball. Lock his man down. Yeah. Yeah, he played on Float. Float, you were at the game too, Float. Were you at the game in Dallas, Float? He was playing left back in that game. Nobody don't get past Lati. Lati always give you the work. Always give you. Chris says, Kranky Joe is center back. That's what he played at Coventry. I don't see why. Yeah. No, he's well, because do you need him where's the best place you need him? I think he gets played where he's needed. The utility player. He gets played where he's needed, right? He can play left back, right back, center half. He can deputize in the midfield. Maybe not as effective as people want him to be, but no, he belongs in the squad. Put it that way. And in defense, he's probably a better defender than Bell is, frankly. You watch him play. Oh, okay. Okay, Ricardo, I hear you. Yeah, no, Chris, I agree. I saw him play defense because I was at those games. He's better than people think he is defensively. Trust me. Nobody not go by him. And he's not even the quickest player on the field. He just positionally, he anticipates really, really well. He anticipates the pass really, really well, and he cuts them off, and he's very physical. You see, Lati always getting in spot. People don't realize that. Lati always, referee always talk to Lati, Lati always in some spot on the field. Because Lati not take no check. If you hit Lati, more hit your back. You see, St. Vincent was clapping us I use the word clapping, but playing us hard in the first game. Lati not taking those check. You hit Lati hitting your back, no matter what you want. Say, Lati not taking check. He's good, very good across the defensive line. I agree. Going forward, Bell at left back and Lati at right back. Yeah, I don't know why Lati doesn't get more playing time in the defense. Maybe because he played for us in the midfield and people got comfortable with him there and think about him there. But he's a better right back than Lembakisa in terms of defensively. I think Lembakisa is decent going forward, but I think Lati is a very good right back. I think Lati is hard. Some coaches love Lati now. You don't take people like Lati on your team because you're going to get from them. Every single game, you're going to get. Right? Every single game. So, yeah. Anyway, let me say this, people. I hit the like button before you leave. I appreciate you being here. Thanks for being here. When I reflect back on those 2 games, I say to myself, we need to recruit better. I say to myself, if Jamaica football is going to progress, then the people who are running the football have to really come out of their comfort zone and do things differently. I'll leave you with this. I was reading an article today talking about Chaudhry, who used to play for Leicester. I think he's at loan now at Sheffield, and he's of Bangladesh heritage, and he decided to go play for the Bangladesh national team. Now, so then people can't really play football that well. But Bangladesh, by the way, people, is trying to get into the football business of playing. They have a Spanish coach. Now, in reading the article, hey, the man a celebrity now. So it says, Hamza Chaudhry had some idea of how excited Bangladesh football fans were about his impending debut for the national team through messages on his social media. His cousin living in Asia had also warned him of the euphoria at his decision to switch from representing England, in England, but anyway, to the country of his mother and stepfather's birth. But nothing could have prepared him for the reception he and his family received when they landed at Osmani International Airport in the east of the country just over a week ago. So they could spend a few days in Habiganji, the town from which his family hails. Bangladesh may be renowned for more for cricket than its national football team, which is ranked 185 out of 211 in the FIFA World Rankings. But it's a huge passion for the sport, with Argentina #1 in the world being adopted by the Bangladesh population. Even those two greats would have been impressed with the reception that greeted Chaudhry, who was born in Leicestershire, in the centre of England, and joined Leicester Academy at 7 years old. The 27-year-old was mobbed as he left the airport by fans and media before a cavalcade of vehicles on his blaring celebration followed his car. Fans lined the street, some waving posters and flags, and Chaudhry waved to them all standing in the vehicle. Chaudhry, who traveled to the country with a big family in tow, accompanying his mother, XYZ, it's being crazy. My dad comes to Bangladesh quite a lot, so he was telling me that they are very excited for me to come over. And I didn't expect half of what happened. When I got to the airport, I didn't expect that many people, and obviously all of them followed me in cars and motorbikes. Here's why I read this out, people. There are other people in other countries who don't have the same football genes, who appreciate when somebody of their own heritage decide to play for them, who is playing in a football-dominated environment. And they're showing their love by just showering him with love. You know what we do? We beat all the little, all the diaspora people want to play for we. We show them we no love. All we are saying, he no good. Whole get no good. Green no good nowadays. We good when he come. There's sometimes more negativity than positivity for those players. We don't even go watch them play when they come to Jamaica. Can't guys still go watch them play. I don't know good now watch them play. But you see somebody who's playing in championship in a country that's not football mad, but it's football mad, but not good at football, treating them like they are godlike, and they send them from heaven to come help them football team. Rank 185 out of 211. So they're almost at the bottom of the pyramid. The point is that sometimes you have to appreciate what you have now. If you don't, somebody's going to appreciate it for you. And I'm very disappointed that we keep having this same narrative over and over and over and over about diaspora versus local. Why do we care? Why do we care if somebody's diaspora versus local? They're all citizens. If they decide to get naturalized, they should have the same opportunity as a citizen. And I've said this numerous times, to play for the national team. If we have 23 local born players in the team, if they're good enough, that's fine. And the vice versa to me is fine, even though that will never happen. We are tired of the narrative where we have some people who support players who are local, who don't do well, and they want to beat the foreign player. They have one bad game. And there's some people who have the reverse sometimes, actually, who don't necessarily respect local players. We should judge players based on merit and based on performances and based on talent and based on potential that we see, which is sometimes hard to judge given the level of competition. Judge the players as individuals and their contribution, their performance. Don't judge them where they were born. The Jamaica Constitution allows you to be a citizen if you meet certain criteria and they have met the criteria. If the coach believes the player is good enough for their team, fits into their system, and brings them to the team, your job is to support them. Doesn't mean you can't criticize a player. Doesn't mean you can say, you know what? X is better than Y, right? Everybody does it in every country. But your initial thing can't be, I don't like this player and I'm going to knock this player. That can't be your initial thing because he wasn't born in Jamaica. Or you're like Tapa Whitmore or Alan Skillcore or Conflicts Boss or Toxic Boss. All those individuals who seem to have this anti-diaspora sentiment that embeds them, is around them, they live it and breathe it. And they come up with examples of stuff that makes no sense. You hear Skillcore talk, you just have to laugh. You hear Whitmore talk about 97 and local players, and you have to laugh. Like, stop living in the past. That's 28 years ago when Jamaica weren't exporting players. Jamaica weren't exporting players. What level did Whitmore play at apart from in Jamaica? He played well. He's a good player. Not knock him. But he ain't playing on high level. What level did he play at to be having this conversation? We have Ethan Pinnock, who plays regularly in the Premier League. The highest level of football you can play in club football to me in the world. So we may debate Bundesliga or La Liga. We have Hayden, who I know he had some history about wanting to play for England, which he probably should because he's born there. But he was playing in the Premier League for Newcastle for years, came up to the Arsenal Academy. We have Bobby Reed who played. We have players. We have Bade who played in the Premier League. He doesn't play for Jamaica. But I'm saying the pedigree is there. That means they must have the ability to get to their contract and play in those leagues. They may not always play well for the country, and them should get them criticism when they don't. But don't say they're not good football. Don't say them can't play football, because that's not true. Don't say it's no good, because that's not true. Right? I will criticize a player or a coach or anybody because I feel the criticism is deserved. But if they do well, like I say I do with Cephas or I do with King, I'm gonna give them flowers. Why wouldn't I want to give them flowers? They're playing for my team. When they play for Jamaica, they're playing for us, and they're giving us pleasure when they win. And if we lose, like everything else, we'll criticize them. But the one thing we should do is not be biased in our perspective and our views on the players. Be agnostic to the player as it relates to who they are and where they're born, but you can assess and provide a perspective on their performances. If it's not good, you may criticize. If it's good, you give them their flowers. That's how we should do it. Let's stop this narrative that we continue to do over and over again about diaspora versus local. Let's stop this narrative where the JFF do not recruit anybody who is young who lives in England. They don't. We talk about Mothersill this and this player this. They only want locally young players in the team, which is sad. Because later on, when the players say, I want to play for England, we guys come out here and complain about, oh, they don't want to play for Jamaica. Make them go away. As if they're born in Jamaica. As if we didn't reject them when they were younger, like we reject Calvin Phillips or reject Antonio. So my last point is this, people. We have to do better. All right? Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. And good night. Peace out. Kranky life is the best to be now. For the best sports talk, and it's free, yo. Kranky life will be your guiding light by keeping you informed both day and night. Kranky life, tell them. Kranky life, heed them. Kranky life, want them. Kranky life. From the courts to the field, we'll never lose because Kranky has the hottest news. With expert analysis, we break it down. Our in-depth coverage is best in town. Kranky life, tell them. Kranky life, heed them. Kranky life, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life where the sports is spicy and where we keep the discussion lively. Kranky life, get to know the name because Kranky analysis is never lame. Kranky life, give me my Kranky life. I want my Kranky life. Must have my Kranky life. Whether it's football or track and field, you know Kranky is at the wheel. So join the journey through victory and debate and subscribe and don't miss a beat of Kranky life. Tell them, Kranky life. Heed them, Kranky life. Want them, Kranky life. If you're from England or USA, from Kingston or Bombay, from Kenya or Canada, Lagos or Havana, visit Kranky Live. Tune into Kranky Live. Like up Kranky Live. Subscribe to Kranky Live. Kranky Live coming to you on weekdays. Kranky Live sometimes on Sundays. Pull up a chair and take a seat because Kranky will always bring the heat. Kranky Live. Me say fi tell them Kranky life. Me say fi heed them Kranky life. On them Kranky life. Kranky life will be around. Kranky life is the best in town. Me say fi heed them. Me say fi want them. Me say fi heed them. Want them, heed them, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life. Heed them. Want them. Heed them. Want them, Kranky life. Kranky life. Heed them, want them, heed them, want them, heed them, want them. Kranky life. Kranky life. Kranky. Heed them, want them, heed them, want them, heed, want, heed, want, heed. them.